of them are coming over. Let's see if everybody is here. It says I'm past due. Don't know if I'm already broadcasting or not. Hopefully I am. Hello, friends. Mark Holmes here. Wow, how could I forget? Don't have Joe Boo over here. And we definitely need some mojo for good old Joe Boo, as well as some good rum. And I am literally running around like a chicken with my head cut off. Michael says he wants the Eagles to win.
Let's get revenge
Ooh.
for that for the who is it? Because the
Okay. Let's see.
I still think the Eagles are going to win.
Okay, there we go. All right. So we are here. We are live. We are about 5 minutes away from kickoff of the playoffs that we are watching the sorry, no good Eagles. The question will be, is it going to be, oh, there's some of our company. We got the dogs. Hopefully somebody lets the dogs out. Hey, over till Colby releases his holiday album. Oh, man. What's happening, guys? It's Go Falcons today. Yeah, I think all of us Cowboy fans are actually, with the exception of Michael. Michael is saying he actually wants the Eagles to win. Not sure why. I guess it would give us something to talk about. But, if the Eagles win, there's going to be a whole lot of trolling on this channel. We already have tons and tons of these Eagles that are here. I put up a video earlier today with Tom Donnelly. Tom is actually one of the good Eagle fans out there, and he's working on his own channel that he's going to be doing more and more stuff, and he is actually going to become a regular part of the Joe Boo Sports Report along with some other gentlemen. In fact, I have one gentleman that's coming over here who may end up becoming our draft expert. Gentlemen, welcome to the Man Cave. Um, you know where everything is, Clarence. Clarence, you guys know from the tailgate as well as watching a couple of games here early. I got some chicken wings over there. There's a pot of chili in the Cowboys pot. There's some chips and everything else. Welcome, everybody. How are you doing? I'm sorry, I forgot your name.
John.
John. Yeah, we got John here who actually does a lot of draft work. In fact, used to go to Howard University, played with a guy I actually got to work with in United Way. With Antoine Bethea, another really great guy. But if you grab the microphone right here, you can tell everybody, talk to everybody, let them know who you are and everything else. And let me double check my sound here.
How you guys doing out there? My name is John Garner. I'm from the area, from the Virginia area. I'm actually from Arlington, Virginia. I played a little bit of college football at Howard University. I've been a Cowboy fan pretty much my whole life. My favorite player growing up was Emmitt Smith. That's pretty much what made me a Cowboy fan. And really, I just enjoy watching the game, breaking it down. I also coach. I've coached high school football at Wakefield High School, receivers coach and JV head coach. So I really just love the game. That's pretty much it.
Okay. Now try and talk in closer to the microphone when you
Closer,
do talk.
closer. Okay. How's that? That's good.
Yeah, much better.
Okay.
Um, so we've got the Eagles getting ready to kick off here shortly. And guys, I'm just trying to get everything squared away and make sure we have good sound and everything on here. Um, turn this up a little bit more. Okay, so how do you guys feel about this game? You guys think the Eagles got it? I mean, they're playing home. The weather's bad. Your thoughts on that? It's cold out there. That wind is talking about 20 miles an hour.
I think that right now, I think that probably favors, in my opinion, it favors the Falcons, even though it's not in the dome. I just think that the dual-headed monster I mean, it's not going to be too much, but when you add Julio to the equation, and I know that the winds are swollen or whatnot, but if you can run the ball and your pass rush is hot, you can pretty much do anything in the playoffs. And Atlanta, the last couple of weeks, the pass rush has been really good. Matt Ryan has been making some sound decisions, and I really think that that's the formula to success in the playoffs.
Okay. All right. I'm sorry. I had to check the sound. Sorry, guys. Hopefully that squared away. I was a little bit too loud on the gain there. Forgive everybody on your ears. You know I'm old in technology challenge. Hopefully that's a little bit better in there. And let me know if that's still too much. Mic is bad. Okay. All right. Let's go down with the gain just a little bit more here. Hopefully you guys' ears aren't too bad. Go ahead and say something if you could real quick.
Hello, 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 hello.
Whoa, yeah, I'm really way too loud. Okay, hopefully that's it. Hopefully.
I think that right now, I think that probably favors, in my opinion, it favors the Falcons, even though
Okay,
it's not
I'm behind on here, so.
I just, whoa, yeah.
Okay, hopefully that took care of.
Hopefully that.
Okay, it's your mic. Actually, it's your mic that's got the issue here. Okay. All right, hang on 1 second, guys. Sorry about that. Say something for me, my man.
Hello, hello,
Okay, sounds good right there. Keep talking.
hello, hello, hello.
Okay, let's see. Okay, hopefully that took care. Okay, if you could talk one more time.
Hello, hello, hello.
Okay, I think I got the sound issues, guys, together. Hopefully that's it. Okay, if you could reintroduce yourself, because I, of course, being old and technology challenged, jacked up the microphone.
It's all good. All right, guys, how you doing? I'm John Garner. I'm from Arlington, Virginia, born and raised. As Mark said before, I played a little bit of college football at Howard. So I had been playing all the way from 6 years old all the way to about 22. And I really just love the game. I love it so much that I'm still coaching. I coach high school. I'm a receivers coach at Wakefield High School in Arlington, Virginia, and I'm the head JV coach. And the one thing about the Cowboys is that I love the team. I've loved it. I loved them since I was a little kid. Emmitt Smith is my favorite player of all time, and I'm gonna bleed blue until the day I die.
All right, perfect. Well, here's what my man was doing before. He used to do some videos and things doing draft breakdown. You guys know I know a lot about the Cowboys, although some of you will say I don't know jack about the Cowboys. But be that as it may, I spend all my time focused in on what the Cowboys are doing and so forth, and don't have a chance to really do college as much as a lot of people do. So what we are going to be doing, and the Eagles have the ball. They're going downfield for it all, and that should be pass interference. Way to go, Falcons. So what we're going to be doing with the draft coming up, as soon as the season's over with, we're going to actually have my man here is actually going to be doing breakdown on players and stuff like that. So he is going to be our draft expert. So we're looking at expanding the channel and doing all kinds of stuff. And this is not the start that the Falcons want to have.
Absolutely
Torrey
not.
Smith, about what, 40 yards penalty?
The ex-Terp. I'm also a Terp fan
Lordy.
as well.
I mean, that just was. And the thing was, I don't think it was going to be caught anyway, because that was a duck that he threw out there. The pass was short, so I mean, I think everybody just lost that. So yeah, it was a big play for the Eagles, but you can't say it was Nick Foles that did anything. Okay,
That's a good run right there.
Oh,
he
fumble, and
I
looks
think,
like
I think the Falcons might have got
the Falcons, he had it in his hands, but you know,
Yeah, Falcons got it.
The Falcons got it. Uh-oh. All right. Now, I want to say something to my man here. Thank you for showing up and all that. And I want you to make sure you get yourself a plate and get some of the wings, because the wings just came out. Now, one note on the wings. Those aren't the typical. Did you have any? You have any children? Okay. We are actually doing this keto diet. Okay. I don't know if you've heard of keto diet.
I haven't.
Keto? Look, the chili a little spicy over there. So, man, grab yourself something to wash it down with. Yeah, he got some of the killer chili. It's a great diet if you like meat
Okay.
because it's not like your typical diet where you're starving for food. It's just you have certain things you can't eat. You know, meat, bacon, butter, sour cream, heavy cream. You can have all that kind of stuff, but you can't have carbohydrates. You can't have sugar,
Oh, really?
and you can't have bread, or at least typical bread. So you got to
Okay.
stay away from flour, sugar, and potatoes.
So it's mainly just protein.
It's protein and fats, and it
Okay.
changes your whole system so that way, instead of burning fat or burning the sugars and stuff and the carbs in your system, your body goes through this change and it burns fat.
Oh, okay.
I have a friend of mine who, DC police officer, looked like Debo. I mean, big guy. He was about 300 plus pounds, started doing this keto diet. Now he's about 230, and he's just like, boom, yeah. So I started doing it last week. Oh, but anyway, to get to this real quick, it's coconut flour instead of regular flour on the wings.
The wings don't look orange like those.
No, not quite as orange. There's actually another trick, and that's because the flour is not like typical flour. But the taste is actually really good. It makes them a little sweeter. But anyway, I'm hoping and praying that the Falcons win just so I can shut up you Eagle trolls. I want to say this. Eagles, I hope you are not like New York Giant fans. Because the New York Giant fans, all off season, all season long, from the time they beat us, were here telling us how great they were. They didn't talk about the fact that they lost the first round of playoffs. The only thing that mattered was they beat the Dallas Cowboys. But once they lost, they disappeared. Now, you guys have been riding me real hard, you know, division champs, I don't know Jack, and yada, yada, yada. Just do me a favor. If you lose or when you lose, come back in here just as strong as you were before. Man up. Don't be one of those cockroaches that when you turn the lights on, that you just go running and hiding, okay? Just do that. Oh, there's Twan. Hey, Mike, Twan's on here.
I saw it.
Yeah, Twan. No, it says Twan Willis. Fly, Eagles, fly, Mark. Yeah, go ahead there, buddy. But 3rd and 5. Come on, Falcons. Looks Eagles' only pop they got is a good play. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
There you
yeah.
go.
Sanu.
First down on the 40-yard line. Yeah, well, here's the thing. I got to tell you, that first pass that Foles threw, I mean, he got a pass interference. It was about 15 yards short. And that's part of the reason why the pass interference was he had to basically stop trying to turn around. It's cold out there with the wind chill and everything else. So I don't believe it's going to be a high-scoring game. What do you think it's going to be a high-scoring game? You think it's going to be a grinded-out defensive match?
I think it'll be much like what the game was with the Rams and the Falcons last week, where I think that the Falcons will probably get mid-20s, maybe Philly a couple of touchdowns here and there. I mean, Ajay, even though he fumbled that ball, he looked like it was a pretty good run. So they may be able to run the ball today. Who knows?
Well, my friend Tom Donnelly thinks it's going to be 31-24 Eagles.
So the Eagles must be scoring some defensive touchdowns then.
Well, his thoughts are the last touchdown that the Falcons will get will be in garbage time late in the fourth quarter to try and get on there. But we'll have to wait and see what happens on that one. I got to tell you, right now, the Falcons are moving the ball pretty good.
Yeah, a couple years ago, I did a show on the running backs. Tevin Coleman was actually one of the guys that I wanted to replace or be behind DeMarco Murray at the time. I really liked Tevin Coleman. I think he was out of Indiana. Yeah, he ran. He looked very similar to DeMarco.
All right, here we go. First down on the 29-yard line. It seems like we just lost about 60 people or so. I think that's some Eagle fans that are now sitting there worried at the moment because I don't see too much Fly Eagles Fly right now, or I don't see J-Watt in here. I don't see EDP or any of you guys are in here. Where are my Eagle fans at?
That's a good block by Julio right there. I can appreciate that. Being a receivers coach, I love seeing receivers out there blocking.
Yeah, that good old Detroit Lions tree. You know, that unfortunately is the coaching tree that we have in Dallas. You know,
Yeah, really.
that's it's kind of what are your thoughts on? Well, I got you here, and we're just kind of waiting for the next play to come up. What are your thoughts on Jason Garrett and that gang as far as coaches for the Cowboys?
I agree with you. What we were talking about the other day, Jason Garrett's not going anywhere. But now that I think about it, what you just said about the Lions, we also are interchangeable with the Bears for some reason as well. And all three of our franchises, for
Rod
some
Martinelli's
reason,
got both. Okay,
Yeah.
0-16 Lions. He was the head coach
Yeah.
of. But you know, not to make light of Rod Martinelli. Rod Martinelli, the defense has gotten better from 2013.
Absolutely.
It was straight garbage, and the Falcons are doing a nice methodical drive, kind of like our Cowboys when they're clicking on all cylinders do. Mix of nice runs, not necessarily throwing deep, just basically picking them apart. And that's what I had hoped our Cowboys would have this year. But sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you on that. But Rod Martinelli has done pretty good with the defense. I'm still not sold on the Tampa 2. I think it's outdated. But you've got to have the right guys. And Sean Lee really made a difference in that defense. But what he does with the defensive line, for me, he takes nothing guys and turns them into really productive players, at least in my mind. And I'd almost hate to see him go.
Well, I brought some notes over here, and I'm glad that you bring that up.
Okay.
So, this
He's
year,
going to school me now.
Yeah. So this year, 2018 coming up, the offense is going to spend, right, the guys they have on contract is $97 million, roughly $97 million.
Which is actually light in comparison to other years. Other years we've had only like $40 million on defense.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
this year we're going to have $51 million on defense.
Yeah.
Whereas if you look at where we're investing our money, we're not getting the return on investment, but the defense, we're getting a lot more out of that than what we thought, especially with the young DBs.
Money-wise, we're getting a whole lot more.
Yeah.
When you think about the, okay, we got 3-0. I felt better as the season went on when you finally started seeing Woozy back out there.
Yeah.
And you start seeing Lewis, Woods. I think those guys are going to be pretty productive. I think we're going to be saying goodbye to a couple people on the defense. I think we're going to lose Tyron Crawford. I think his contract is going to be kind of cost prohibitive of keeping him. He's $9.1 million. And you look at his numbers versus, say, a Taco. Tyron Crawford had about twice the stats. He had 5 sacks, I think 37 tackles maybe. You look at a Taco, he had 3 sacks, 21 tackles in half the time. So you look at $2 million versus $9.1 million. You say, okay, that's some
age
money.
too.
Yeah, and an injury past. You look at that and say, okay, thank you, Chaz J. I'm trolling the Eagles. They were here to begin with. I don't know what happened to them, Chaz. You're going to be added to the drawing there. I actually have a bunch of y'all I have to add to the drawing from live stream last night as well as from the donation page, and we're going to do that drawing Monday night. But, you know, that's some of the decisions that we've got to make on this team. Money-wise, we've got a lot of money tied up in just a few players. And I personally believe that that's part of our problem. They're great if everybody can play every game.
Yes.
At their potential. But you lose Sean Lee for a couple of games, you lose Tyron Smith, and then the next guys up are pretty weak. And that's because you spend so much money on a Dez, a Tyron Crawford, Tyron Smith, you know, and thank God we don't have Tony Romo, because if we had a $20 million quarterback, it'd be even worse.
Well, the one thing I will say about Romo that I do miss is that he somewhat not only the leadership, but he covered areas that we were pretty weak at. So that's one thing where the $20 million where you're paying him, at least you're kind of covering up something. Like now it's like when we're bad in the area, it kind of shows, you know. And another couple scary things to think about is the offense. Like I brought up the numbers, but Zach Martin is a free agent after this year.
Yeah.
And we haven't paid Dak or Zeke coming up.
Well, Dak will be the end of next. Well, well, yes and no. In past years, like last year, we were $20 million over.
Yeah.
We're 18 under. Now we got some people to pay. Now, you know, DeMarcus Lawrence says he knows he's going to be here, be it franchise tag or long-term deal. It's advantageous for us to get a long-term deal. That franchise number is $15 million.
Yeah.
You get him a long-term deal, you can make that back-loaded sum where it's only, say, a $5 million hit.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically when we did Tyron Smith's $96 million deal. The first year was only $5.1 million. So you could actually sign him to a long-term deal and save some of that money from that $18 million. This is where a lot of people won't agree with me, but Dez Bryant's got to go. You can't. It's $16.5 million. You make him a June 1st cut, you're talking about saving $12 million.
I don't care when we cut him. It sounds bad, but I was looking up those numbers.
Oh.
How do you look up numbers? Do you look at overthecap.com as well?
Yeah, over the cap. I mean,
Yeah.
but everybody's a little bit different off
Yeah.
and on, but it still gives you an idea. It's a $16.5 million hit this year. If we cut him immediately, it's basically 8.5 dead money.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
June 1st, it's $4 million that's in dead money.
Okay.
I mean, I look at it like that. If we
Yeah.
got rid of him, Tyron Crawford, I think we could save 7 of it. Part of Tyron Crawford's problem, though, is because we redid his contract to get some extra money. Orlando Scandrick
Oh, yeah.
is another one that's probably going to go. And this is one that not too many people are talking about, but you look at Switzer versus
Beasley.
Beasley's actually has an out on his contract. It's another $3.5 million. I know I'm not saying we need to cut him or release him, but you got to look at the team as a whole. I'm afraid we're top heavy with salaries and talent, but when you start getting from 15 on down, our talent is not really there, and we need to fill in with those guys. 2nd and 10 for the Eagles.
Oh, he missed that throw.
3rd and 10 for the Eagles. Eagle fans that have come back, I appreciate you guys. I know you're only coming in during the commercials and so on, just like your moms. Okay. Just wondering how you guys are feeling right now. Looks like Nick Foles is throwing a little high. And you got 3rd and 10. This is going to be interesting. I would love to see Tom Donnelly right now. Tom was animated and basically saying, I don't know how in the world we're the underdog. You know, we're going to win this game. He guarantees me that regardless.
That's a good hold. That's a good hold up right there.
He says regardless. There's a flag. What's the flag?
Eagles did pretty good in pass protection on that play.
They did. Is it defensive holding? Pass interference. All right. So far, the complete offense for the Eagles has been 2 pass interference.
I'm not sure I agree with that call. Let's look at the replay. Okay, yeah, he held him a little bit. Yeah, but that could have been an offense, too.
You kind of
He extended the arms.
That was one of those ones that you could say could have been a no call, but, you know.
I don't know if I want some of that chili after I heard you over there hacking it up.
Nah, chili's all right, man.
Oh, it's a hold right there.
That was a definite hold.
They let it slide.
You know, Jay Ajayi is actually a guy that I wanted the Cowboys to draft after we lost to Marco Murray. But they were worried about his knee. But I looked at him, and I was just like, you know, you can pick this guy up 3rd, 4th round, and I believe that he would have been a beast for us. But it is what it is. I don't think they got the boost out of him that they thought they were going to get. 2nd and 3.
Oh, I think it's because they don't really commit to running the football though. And then when they do, they don't really allow one of their guys to get rhythm. Like, look, he's been running pretty well.
Yeah. So Atlanta's got 63 yards and penalties already today. Ouch.
Oh, that's a hold. Man, they missing a lot of holds out there.
They look like the refs are in off season. You're right about that. Eagles are trash. Yeah. Fumbled again. Damn. I got to tell you, the Eagles are looking pretty sloppy. Bye, Felicia. Shout out to everybody who's on here. This is weird for me to be live streaming during a game that's not the Cowboys, but shout out to Virginia's finest, Joe Castillo, Jason, Joe Hartley, Shell, Derek, Albert, Matt, Ron, Salam, Virginia's finest, Nick, Shane, Dallas girl. How are you doing, Dallas? Fedmex, Snap Johnson, Yusuf, Cruising. We have an Eagle fan, excuse me, a Giant fan in the house. Oh my God. Nick Foles almost sacked. Okay, 3rd and 10. Why am I watching? J.A. Justin.
Joe Boo.
What's the score? The score is 3-0 Atlanta right now. The Eagles have had 63 yards in offense because of penalties and 2 pass interferences. They've also had a fumble, actually 2 fumbles. They lost 1. And the Falcons drove down, almost got a touchdown, but had to settle for a field goal. And right now, the Eagles have the ball on the 33-yard line.
Look at that
And
rush.
Nick Foles goes down on 3rd and 7, sack of about 10 yards. So, when you look at our Cowboys, I got a series that I have that I'm going to be starting up soon again. It's called Fixing the Boys.
Okay.
What do we need to do to fix the Dallas Cowboys so that way next year we can make a run? I've got my ideas of what we need to do. Well, okay, Michael, you're right. Coaching is right, but wide receivers, there you go right there. Anything else you'd like to add? Swing tackle, without a doubt.
Green needs to go.
I'm sorry? Oh, of course. Well, unfortunately, okay, here's the deal with Tyron Smith. We're joined at the hip right now, literally. Win, lose, or draw. Because when they signed us that $96 million contract over 8 years and then have used it as a piggy bank, they've redone that contract, I believe, twice, if not 3 times. It's great when you need money, but it's kind of like going out to dinner and charging a meal on your credit card. You don't pay for it for a year. That meal costs you a whole lot down the road. Okay? And that's the problem where we've got Tyron Smith and we were $26 million over the cap. Okay, let's take $10 million here. And a lot of people will say, well, they gave money back. No, they didn't give money back. The way it works is we're writing you a check for $10 million right now and saying it's guaranteed money or signing bonus. And we're spreading that out over the length of the contract. So you're taking that number off of this year, but you're just kicking it down the road, which is fine for now if you need that cap relief. And if the player plays out the contract, but if the guy can't play or leaves or has to retire, then all of a sudden you get that big balloon payment. Hence Tony Romo. Tony Romo, we did the same thing for. So our cap last year, even though Tony Romo's out of the league, was a $10 million cap hit. This year it's another $9 million. So when we talk about looking at Zach Martin and some of these other things, we got that $9 million hit that coming up this year. We've got some more room coming the following year. So we finally bit the boat on that one. Tyron Smith, you can't cut him because you didn't say, okay, he's going to retire, because then you're going to get that big balloon on this season. The reality is, when he plays, Dak Prescott was in the 90s as far as his quarterback rating. When he didn't, you were in the 60s. So what you have to understand is, okay, Tyron Smith might miss some games. What we need to do is we need to have a guy who can fill in those games. You can't go bottom basement shopping and, say, okay, Chaz Green, a guy who always had health issues, and say he's going to be the guy. I think in free agency, you've got to get a quality backup or swing tackle. That'll be a guy who can fill in. Jonathan Cooper, fortunately for him, it was just a sprained MCL. He had the surgery the day before yesterday, but he's a free agent. He actually kind of solidified. He's not Ron Leary, but he was actually a very good offensive lineman for the most part. I think Lyle Collins faced a lot of really quality pass rushers, and he ended up having back problems too. Hopefully, he'll be able to get that taken care of in the offseason as well. But we definitely need a swing tackle, somebody who can play. That when one of those guys go down, we're not scraping the bottom of the barrel.
Okay. So,
Especially linebacker
Okay.
for Sean Lee.
All right.
one of the ideas that I was throwing to Clarence in the car on the way over here was similar to what we did with Zach Martin.
Mm-hmm.
What if there is an undeniable guy out there that can play both guard and tackle
Yeah.
that we can slide in from day one?
Well, in a way, here's what you really have. You have that guy right now in Lyle Collins. Lyle Collins, you remember his rookie year was playing guard.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he was out, doing double blocks downfield, lighting people up. You could conceivably move him to guard if there's a tackle out there that you can go ahead and really say, okay, this is the guy.
Absolutely.
So he gives you some flexibility, I think, more so than saying he's just a tackle. And Zach, I think he can move around as well. So at least I think the Cowboys are in a position to try and draft the best guy available.
Absolutely.
But I still think wide receiver is the biggest spot that we got to focus on. We need somebody that's going to stretch that field.
Okay. So what type of receiver? Well, you said stretch the field. For me, I feel like the type of receiver that we need. Well, I mean, it looks like Bryce.
Nice move.
Good play by Coleman. So I feel that with Bryce Butler, it doesn't look good for him coming back.
Oh, but it's funny because you got people on both sides of the fence. You got some people are saying, "Oh yeah, well he was saying exactly what needed to be said and everything else." I'm like, no, you want to keep that laundry in house. He literally burned bridges, I believe, with that, and I think his heart is already gone to Oakland/Las Vegas personally.
But I would have loved to have him back if we were to cut Dez Bryant and then get more of a route runner type number one in this draft.
Well, I still think that the Falcons are moving the ball pretty well. They should have got a touchdown on that first drive, but right now, if you're the Eagles, you got to be kind of scared at the moment because Nick Foles does not look good at all. Looking at Nick Foles, you would think that he was the dome quarterback versus Matt Ryan. Definitely, I agree with you on that. I still believe that Dez Bryant, though, won't be back. I think it's been too many years of decline and too big of a salary, especially if he's not willing to renegotiate and take a pay cut.
Well, my question is, does he really understand, like from what I'm reading, does he really understand what taking a pay cut really means? Because you brought it up a point where...
Oh, no. He needs a pay cut. He don't need to restructure. Yeah. We can't kick any more of that money down the road. Dez Bryant does not have that many more years left that he's going to be in the NFL. You cannot kick any more money down the road.
Yeah.
Okay. He's taking up almost 10% of our cap number.
He's the number one. Is he number?
No,
he's number
Tyron
one.
Smith. Tyron Smith will be 17.5.
Will Tyron be? But he's probably. Do you think they'll restructure him again?
I don't see. If I were the GM, I would look at it and not restructure anybody because that's part of the reason why we're in trouble because of past overpaying guys.
Absolutely,
from
yeah.
Jay Ratcliffe, Miles Austin, Marcus
God.
Ware. Yeah, Miles Austin got paid for one good year. Miles Austin going into that year was always broke down, and he gave him a big one. Marion Barber, he got a $54 million contract, and he wasn't even a starter. So we had all these, and it was great that Jerry Jones.
Newman, too. Terrence Newman was one of those guys, too. We took some dead money down the road.
Right. And unfortunately, all those big numbers had to get paid, and we were always over the cap, so we're restructuring guys just to try and keep a roster. You got $18 million right now, projected roughly, with they're short on the first down. I believe Dez Bryant goes, Orlando Skinner goes, Tyrone Crawford go. Okay.
I'm in agreement with 203. I'm not sure about Dez yet.
Well, I'm just saying. Okay, I said if I were general manager.
Yeah, if I was general manager, I'm in agreement with you. Yeah.
Okay, I got 12.5 from Dez. I got like 8 from Tyrone. That's 20 right there. Orlando Scanders, that's another 3. Okay? So that's 23 plus my 18. I signed Zach Martin to a long-term deal.
I agree.
I signed DeMarcus Lawrence to a long-term deal, basically trying to make it like a $5-6 million cap hit for each. That means I've only spent 12 right there. The rookies is only like $4 or $5 million to sign all your rookies. That's where you're actually going to make up. So right now we're only talking about 15.
They went and Or the
Damn.
flag? Is it off? Is it a delay?
Delay of game. Okay.
That's actually
So-
a lucky break right there
Yeah.
for Atlanta.
So they'll punt it. So with signing those 3 guys, we're talking about $15 million. That still leaves us about $25 million.
Okay.
Okay, getting our rookies, getting Zach, getting DeMarcus Lawrence in there, and not restructuring anybody. Then you need to be a bit of a player in free agency, and I believe you get a veteran offensive lineman, not bargain basement shot, not the $2 million guy. You got to get a real offensive lineman. That's a swing.
Okay.
And I think you go out for a wide receiver that's a veteran. That is a good wide receiver.
Okay. So how much are you talking about with that veteran? With the, I guess between those two, as far as how much you would.
You still have $25 million left over with that scenario.
Okay.
You could spend 15 on those 2 and still have 10 left over.
Okay. So I'm gonna throw a wrinkle out there.
Okay.
So let's say those 3 guys do get cut,
Mm-hmm.
and let's say because Earl Thomas's contract is up, right?
Yeah.
So what if I want to throw the wrinkle out there? If Earl Thomas, obviously he wants to be a Cowboy. What are your feelings towards Earl Thomas?
Getting long in the tooth.
Long in the
But has experience, has that attitude, and that's one of those things that I think our team has missed, is having an attitude. I like a safety who scares you. I like a safety that the wide receivers think, if I go across that middle, my head might be taken off. Jeff Heath gets some interceptions, I'll give you that. But to me, Jeff Heath is always the guy who is running, taking poor angles, and he's chasing guys. You don't see Jeff Heath lighting anybody up. That's one of the reasons why I like Xavier Woods. Xavier Woods lays the wood. And I like the idea of having Earl Thomas. I actually wanted the Cowboys to try and get Richard Sherman, because I believe you need that guy who's got a little bit of an edge, the one that's going to be in people's faces and is a motivator and can teach those younger guys.
Agreed.
So Earl Thomas, for the right price, yeah.
Because my thought is, I agree with what you're saying as far as a secondary safety.
Mhm.
I want a guy that when the quarterback is dropping back, he's thinking, is that window there? Can I make that throw?
Yeah.
Like, I got to pull it down to maybe look somewhere else, and maybe that's how we create turnovers. Because right now, when we face veteran quarterbacks that are really good, they're back in the pocket. They already know what they're seeing. They're not even worried about who they're throwing the ball against. You know what I mean?
Right.
At this point. Or, I mean, the secondary got a lot better towards the end, but I think that a pretty solid safety could solidify what we're looking to.
Well,
And moving Byron possibly back to corner.
Byron definitely needs to be a corner. To me, he's not a safety. I think we stunted his growth because we kept moving around so much his rookie year, but he's a better corner than safety. Again, he's not a guy that you go across the middle and say, I'm worried about my head being taken off.
Agreed.
I'm kind of old school, and I shouldn't say it like that because of concussions and stuff, but literally, that's the kind of guy I look for. I would also, Earl Thomas, Chaz, thanks for the super chat there, buddy. I tell you what, that's another one of those ones that, much like Bryce Butler kind of burned some bridges, I think Earl Thomas kind of did too. Because, a lot of people say, oh, well, it's no big deal, it's a business and stuff, but it's kind of like, to me, if my girlfriend was out and said, hey, Clarence, if he kicks me to the curb, why don't you and I hook up? When she comes home and you know that she said that, how you feel?
You gotta grab your stuff. You gotta get about it.
You already think about the next thing? You got to go home. You got to go. You got to go up out of here. Yeah. And that's where I feel with Bryce Butler that, okay, we all know Coach Jarrah is coaching the team, okay?
Yeah.
He's got his 2 suites. He's got his main suites with all, fit 150 people in. And then he's got the elevator that goes upstairs to his GM suite with the hot phone that goes down to the field.
And Jay Jai is having a day, except for that fumble.
Right. So we know about that. But to go ahead and say, well, Dez Bryant's getting all these catches and basically he doesn't deserve them, because Jerry Jones is forcing it on there. You know, he kind of threw a lot of people under the bus there, and I think that relationship may be ruined. You didn't hear the Cowboys say anything about it. They're just kind of ignoring it. I think they're waiting for free agents to say bye-bye. And the fact that he kind of said, I'm only going to stay here if I'm going to be named a starter day one, I'm kind of like, what?
Maybe his agent told, God, Jay
Jay Ajayi,
Yeah.
he's about the only thing that's working right now for the Eagles. I'm kind of like, I'm old school. There's nothing I hate worse when you just say, you're a starter.
Yeah, I agree.
Make these guys earn it. What have you done, Bryce Butler, to say that you are going to be a starter day one?
Maybe he's playing the field right now, and somebody out there heard that interview and likes that attitude and is going to pay him more money. I don't know. I wouldn't have done it either. I just would have let it play out how it was going to play out. If that's me in that position.
We'll have to wait and see on that one, how that works out. We'll find out come March. Or actually, yeah, when the league year starts, the free agency opens up. But I think that he's going to. We may be in the market for quite a few wide receivers here, because you may have him gone and you may have Dez gone as well. Like I said, Cole Beasley has an out as well, and of course he's rapping as well. So you don't know where his head is at.
It sounds pretty funny, but I think that Cole might be a better rapper than he is a football player. And that's not saying anything about his. That's not saying anything about his football playing ability. I think he's pretty good, but that track was pretty hot.
It wasn't bad at all.
Yeah.
Well, did you also see Rico Gathers?
No, I didn't.
Rico actually has his own label.
Oh.
And does a lot of music and stuff. And I was just kind of thinking, okay, you got a concussion and you're doing a lot of rap music and a lot of loud music and producing. Those two things go together.
I don't know. Maybe it's therapy. I mean, obviously these guys can't smoke weed anymore, so maybe they should just let them in the studio. I don't know.
Well, I know when I've had concussions, I want to go in a dark room, turn off the lights, and just have it quiet, just so it would stop pounding.
Yeah.
But I'm old caveman and all that.
But I mean, didn't they say at one point Bryce had plantar fasciitis or something like that? Now all of a sudden it's like I could have outshined Dez. So was that a BS injury report possibly?
I don't know. Big Rufus, I know you say Jerry loves Dez too much to let him go, but you would think that he loved DeMarco Murray or DeMarcus Ware. If he could let those guys go, why is it you think that Dez Bryant would be untouchable?
Boy, Sammy.
Stop worrying about last season. It's over for the entire NFC East. Well, it's time. Me personally, I'm planning on next year for our team, enjoying the playoffs. It may not be our team playing right now, but here's the thing. We only got a few more weeks of football left. We got this weekend, next weekend, the Pro Bowl, and then the Super Bowl, and that's it. We're done.
Yeah.
It is football winter, and personally, I'll take at least watching the sorry Eagles this week, and the rest of the playoff games and stuff over nothing. Would I love to see my Cowboys there? I would love to see them there. But hey, it is what it is.
So I'm looking at a couple of free agents right now. One stands out to me big time. You're talking about a possible veteran receiver. Can you read that third name for me?
Sammy Watkins. Interesting. Terrell Pryor. He didn't. He really showed up. Chaz Green, man, you are hitting it tonight. Thank you. Terrell Pryor, Mike Wallace, Sammy Watkins, Eric Decker, Harry Douglas, Taylor Gabriel. That's a pretty good list. Yeah. If we end up having a guy, and that's like I said, I think because Dez was never a great route runner. And now that he's had those injuries and he's losing some of that athleticism, that he doesn't have the skill set to be that productive. And with him not being able to get open, even when he got thrown to, you almost always saw somebody right there on him. He's not breaking away from anybody anymore. If we get a guy who can start getting open, where you got to say, if that guy gets loose, it's going to be 6. Dez isn't that guy. To me, it's shortened up the field. And then you compound that with, is Zeke going to be suspended? He's in, he's out, during the week.
Yeah.
You don't know from Monday to Friday if he was going to be playing. I think that messed with the psyche, and then you had Tyron Smith. So all of a sudden now, you're not getting guys that are wide open. You got Jerry saying he wants to get the ball to Dez Bryant, so Dak is trying to force it to him. You've got people double covering Cole Beasley, and the offensive line's not opening the holes like they were before. All of a sudden, everything gets shrunk.
Call me crazy, but I think it's a better team when it's a better offense when Dez isn't on the field. If you look at Dak last year without Dez,
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he didn't come to it toward the end of the season.
yeah, and if you look at certain
First down
drives
to the
during
Eagles.
this year when Dez was off the field and Bryce was in, that's why everybody
true.
right now knew, or they like when Bryce said what he said, a lot of people agree with what Bryce was saying.
Oh, I didn't disagree with anything that
Yeah.
he said. I mean,
Yeah.
we've all figured that
Yeah,
Jerry
It's
Jones is,
professionalism, yeah.
we all figure that Jerry Jones is calling the shots and stuff, which is the reason why he likes Jason Garrett, because Jason is just happy to have a job.
So he's a yes man.
He's definitely the yes man.
I mean, he has a lot of energy over there. He has enough energy to do a lot of clapping, doesn't he?
You know what bothers me?
Oh, I opened up a can of worms.
Let me be kind, but you notice how Jason Garrett, his eyes are always straight ahead. You ever see a play card with him? I know he doesn't call plays.
No.
Do you ever see him talking on a headset? Does it look
No.
like he's having a conversation?
No,
with
it
someone?
doesn't.
Do you ever see him turn around? Okay, I'm the coach. Okay, I know. Excuse me. Let me get the headset out here off me. I'm the coach. Here's the sideline. Okay, there's the action on the field. I got no play card. I got that. Okay, but do you ever see him turn around and say, Rod, Martinelli, Scott, maybe you might want to change some things up? Do you ever see him turn around and go to the bench and say, guys, what's going on?
Never.
When you saw Dez Bryant
No, what is it? Switzerland?
or sitting on the bench,
Yeah.
did you ever see a coach
No,
with him?
no, Switzerland.
So this is what a coach does. Look, when my man is melting down, you go over, say, Des, man, okay, I got you, man. Okay, we're gonna get this stuff together. I need your head in the game. We need you. We can't win this without you, man. All right? Come on, do something to get in there. That's what a coach does. It's more than just X's and O's. It's motivating people. And I truly believe that the team takes on the personality of the coach.
Absolutely.
If Jason Garrett can have a 4-12 season and there's nothing, it's okay. If Jerry Jones says, well, I know sometimes they make the wrong calls, but, I'm behind him. If he's not accountable, why do I got to be?
Agreed.
You see guys go out there and make boneheaded penalties, walk back on the sideline, okay, whatever. Man, that's what the coach should be in his ass saying, dude, get your head in the game. We cannot take a penalty like that shit. Get your ass on the bench. Do something. I don't see that. I don't see accountability on the team.
I agree. And to be completely honest with what you're saying right now, look at this play call right here. Like, look at the innovativeness that what we were talking about.
Yeah.
They ran a trap with the receiver.
Uh-huh.
And
picked up 15 yards, about to get the lead in the game.
It was
in which
3rd
case,
and 3. Yeah.
In which case, we're going to be seeing some more of those Eagles back here shortly.
That's something that we don't do.
Yeah. But here, and speaking of coaching, it's funny that, O'Brien for the Texans, they're now negotiating a long-term contract with them. But with them, 9-7, 9-7, I want to say 9-7, and then this year 4-12.
Mm-hmm.
One bad season out of 4. and he was on the hot seat.
Wow. Well, I mean,
Okay, we're not talking about the Dallas Cowboys. We're talking about the Texans. Now, when I was at the Hall of Fame, the only thing I saw of the Texans at the Hall of Fame was a picture of J.J. Watt with his head in a guy's butt and his helmet flying off. Okay? It's not like they've had glory years. The fact that he took that team to the playoffs 3 years without a quarterback now, mind you.
agreed.
That he got Brandon Wheaton to win 2 games.
Yeah, and
Okay, let me say that again. He got Brandon Wheaton to win 2 games.
Did we not have this
And
conversation?
he was on the hot seat.
He has one of those Falcons games.
But we went 8-8, 8-8, 8-8, 13-3, 4-12.
He's Jeff Fisher
And
Jr.
and that's okay. That's okay for the Cowboys. But 9-7, 9-7, 9-7, 4-12 is not good enough for the Texans. Something's wrong there. Of all the coaches who have been around with the same team for as long as Jason Garrett, only him and Marvin Lewis have not been to a Super Bowl.
Wow.
All of them have been to one. The only one who has not won one is Carolina's coach, and he's been to one. So think about that. Coaches with the same team for the last 7 years, with the exception of him and Marvin Lewis, have all been to Super Bowl and won.
Well, at
And
least
some have won multiple.
Well, at least Marvin Lewis won as a coordinator. Like Jason Garrett hasn't even been as a assistant or whatever.
And that's where, you know, when you go through the tour at the stadium and you hear about Jerry Jones, how he had to pick every type of tile, every look, every piece of artwork, everything had to be perfect. Why is it we settle for mediocrity for a coach?
Because he's picking every tile and whatever with the roster or whatever with the coaches and everything else. I mean, it's supposed to look nice. It's supposed to look nice. I think you answered the question.
Drives me crazy. All right, let's see. Oh, I see some Eagles are back. You know, and here's the thing.
He's on the market, probably.
Yeah, but, well, he's old.
know.
But here's the thing, and then again, you know, when we lost Tony Romo, it was like, okay, you lost Tony Romo, so you're not expected to win. You know, you can look around and say, oh, well, you lost Tyron Smith and you lost Sean Lee, so you're not expected to win. They lost Hicks, their linebacker, in the middle of the season. They lost Jason Peters. They lost one of their running backs. Yet, they still been winning. You look at Minnesota, who's really on their 3rd quarterback, Case Keenum.
They lost Dalvin Cook, too.
Yeah, and they're winning. It's just like Jason Garrett, unless everything is perfect, he can't win, and he gets excuses because it wasn't perfect. Nobody else gets that.
Agreed.
Jerry Jones.
I take it back. No, there's one other coach that gets that. His name is Jay Gruden. And you see where they are.
Well, but see, he's just part of a screwed up franchise, okay?
Keep my
They've been screwed up since the 90s.
Yeah.
And I think it's the curse of Jack Can't Cook.
Oh, yeah.
I think from the time he ended up not giving this franchise to his son, I think he's haunting the franchise with Dan Snyder, and I don't think they'll ever win until they get back into D.C.
They may not ever get back into D.C.
They're trying to. You know, now RFK is no longer used now they got the soccer stadium, and they're definitely looking at trying to do something.
If not, they're going to go up the street. But they said that they might be going by the airport.
I smell some trickery. I don't know why.
Virginia wants to get.
Oh, fumble! He got in the end zone though.
No, he didn't get in the end zone.
Is he short?
Nah, he didn't get
He's short. Oh, they gave him the touchdown.
They gave him the touchdown. Okay, the legal.
They're going to challenge it. I think when he recovered it, I think he was down by contact.
I see the Eagles are back alive.
But they can't challenge it because it's scoring play.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Well, the officials will review it automatically.
But they can't challenge it because it's scoring play.
I said,
He got cut.
short. He's short.
He's short.
At least give it to him.
That was such a good play call, though. That's just bad execution. He's short.
He was way short. His shoulder was in the ground, but
Yeah, that's what's-
he's like,
no way.
shit, he's like a foot and a half short.
Look at that.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't even, I mean, damn, that wasn't even close to being in.
But I mean, like as much as I'm a Eagles hater, I must give Doug Peterson some credit for calling this game because these plays and like how they normally don't run the football.
Yeah.
This drive has been a pretty good one.
Listen, you know, with what he's done with that team after Chip Kelly gutted him,
Yeah.
got rid of all the Pro Bowl talent and everything else, hey, he's done a hell of a job. I mean, you can say, well, they end up having an easy schedule because they were, fourth place. I ain't mad at them because that's the cycle of the NFL.
It's the cycle of the NFC East. Like the last place team just somehow seems to win it.
Nobody's been back-to-back repeaters since
Exactly.
2003, 2004 Eagles. Right. So, chances are that the Eagles aren't going to be there next year either when they get that schedule. When people start trying to pick them apart, he is half a yard short on that. How in the world do they call that a touchdown? That's what I want to know.
It looked like a touchdown until you see the
He
replay.
must have thought no one touched him. He just bounced in. But
It's bad timing on that motion. That's what threw him off.
It looked
He
like a
didn't
touch-
even bounce all the way in, though.
like a touchdown with
Unless you're thinking that his head was the ball.
they're going for it. Here we go.
You have to.
QB sneak.
You have to.
Okay, we can take that 6 off the board here. Okay, 4th down.
You might as well,
Uh-oh, here we go, guys.
you might as well go for it.
You better put a Jai in. But again, like remember what we were talking about Ajayi. Like, why is Clement in the game? Like Ajayi's
True.
been killing him. That's a Cowboys. That's something that the Cowboys would do.
4th and goal. This is a huge play. Please mess up. I like that. All right, Joe Boo. Oh, shit. Damn, Joe Boo.
What's up, man? Got a shot.
Hold on.
Give him a shot.
Shit.
Hurry up.
Joe Boo, here you go, buddy. All right. Here we go. They got a lot of penetration.
Oh, he's touchdown.
He got it outside. Touchdown. All right. Got a new game now.
Yeah, what the Falcons did on that drive was they stopped. I mean, what the Eagles did, they stopped throwing the ball as much. They just pretty much ran at them.
Yeah.
Which was what we should have done.
Drive killers.
Stop running the ball.
They got him outside.
One thing
Give
you do to a hot pass rush, you run at them.
Man, you need to get something to eat before it gets all cold,
Oh yeah,
man.
I got you, man.
Yeah, definitely get some wings and stuff. And this is my man Clarence right here. And double hit.
But
Damn. Hit the outside and then hit the bottom and bounced out completely.
He
Damn.
just got that shot. The shot started to kick in. You gave it to him too late, Mark.
Jobu needs a blunt. Okay. Oops. Missed it a lot. Okay. Damn. No field goal at least. Okay. No extra points, you mean? In spite of Nick Foles, bro. No good. Jobu needs to bump off the coke. Okay. Damn. Man, you guys are ruthless in here, man. Damn.
What's up with this trip?
That cat's not out of the bag yet. Okay. Yeah, we're planning something big. Now Clarence is sitting here opening up his mouth on it. But yeah, we're planning something big for the off season to kick off the season right. We'll talk about that a little bit further down the road. Anybody who tuned in last night, apologize for the live stream because I didn't have the camera and everything ready to go the right way and so on and so forth. I got a new mixer and stuff for doing live stream, and the microphone and everything. I got a new computer to be able to do a lot of stuff, and I still have to get some more software and things. So we're working through that. I won't look like Casper the Ghost on Monday night. And anybody who still wants to be in on the drawing for Monday night. We are drawing a autographed DeMarcus Lawrence T-shirt, Jobu T-shirt. That's going to be the drawing for Monday night. So if anybody does any super chats or if they go to cowboyjobu.com and do a donation, you're entered for the drawing. I actually have quite a few people I need to add to that, and I'll get to that probably at halftime and start putting them into the bucket. It is 6-3 Eagles over the Falcons right now. Yeah, you're right. I was too late for the shot. Too late. But hopefully it'll wear through for the game. When I was looking at this game and talking to Tom Donnelly, I said that I didn't think that this game was going to be a high-scoring game, that it was going to be basically a battle of attrition with the weather conditions the way they are. And thus far, 6-3, it's going to be a low-scoring game, and it may go down to who has the ball last. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here. All right, let's see what the Falcons do here. We got 10 minutes left in the second quarter. Whoa. Okay. Well, I tell you what, in the grand scheme of things, Philadelphia Eagles fly. That was a nice drive by the Eagles. The Falcons, though, for the most part, have been able to move the ball. They just have not been able to capitalize on it. They've had a few plays bogged them down. I can't tell you that I'm sold on Nick Foles because Nick Foles does not look like he's been that great, but we'll have to wait and see how this game goes. But I'm kind of curious that, you Eagle fans, it's amazing that when the Falcons were up 3-0, you guys disappeared. Once you guys get the lead, you come back hard and heavy. See another white man in the abyss. Okay. Yeah, he's definitely going to need to open up the field a little bit and try and work downfield. Brent, stop dreaming. Okay. We were just talking about Peterson, Bobby Thurl. Peterson, to me, has done a great job with the Eagles. I mean, he literally turned them around in, a couple of years from a lack of talent and going into the season. I thought they would be better, and I said that. I thought the Giants, bad tackle there, though, Sanu. When I was looking at my predictions for the season, everybody kept saying that the Giants were a Super Bowl favorite and everything else with Brandon Marshall. They were going to be fantastic and unstoppable and yada, yada, yada. And I said, no, I don't think so. I thought that team was over the hill and that they had problems on the offensive line. I said the Eagles, I thought Cowboys, I'll be honest, I thought the Cowboys would win the division. I thought we would go 10-6 is what I said. But I thought the Eagles were going to be right there, and I said the Redskins were still hot garbage. But I knew the Eagles were going to be better than they were last year, way better. And they are launching it down the field. Oh, good defense by Julio. Damn. Johnny, I wish I could show the game, but unfortunately, if I show the game, they'll shut down the channel. That's one of the things that the NFL, which is now also partners with Google, don't allow because they want to get every single penny. Michael says that you can actually watch it on Facebook. So, well, Joseph, I'm sorry that you're offended that I'm wearing my Cowboys shirt, even though the season's over with. I'm a fan of my team, and I support them, win, lose, and draw. So, if you got a problem with it, well, that's on you. Yeah, Hunter. Unfortunately, you're at the point where that team is going to need to be basically blown up. You've got a lot of high contracts and stuff with that defensive, that defense. You got a few players that are kind of not getting along too well, and you definitely need put a mirror behind me. You got a few players on the offensive line that definitely need to be replaced, and I'm not sure that Eli Manning is going to be there for the long haul. Oh, wow. Okay. 3rd and 13. Okay, they bogged down again. Eagles defense stopped them. Hey, Tangi, how are you doing? Oh my God, listen to the radio. Well, actually, if you go on Facebook, you can actually see the game. Some people will be streaming on
They
there
don't care on
before it gets
Facebook.
shut down.
They don't care on Facebook. Plus, the whole thing on Facebook.
Yeah, well, you know what, Joseph, sorry. I've worked too hard for the channel to get where it is. You get 2 strikes, your channel's gone. I can't risk that for, showing the game. Sorry, I wish I could. Dak for Eli, no thank you. Yeah, Dak for Eli.
Oh, he touched it. He touched it.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Did the lights just come on? Because we know the Eagle fans are going to be running out right about now because they just turned the ball over again deep in their territory. Oh, snap. Okay, guys, with that being said, I'm going to grab a little something to eat because this is going to be a long game. I'm going to get some chili and some chips. What's that? That, as far as cooking, man, I cook by taste. I'll do all different kinds of chilies and tastes and everything else. But, it's mostly meat. But this actually has baked beans in it, as well as the regular pinto beans to give it a sweet taste. But there's also some of this hot sausage. There's ground pork. There's hamburger in it. There's tomatoes and sauce. And then there's chipotle peppers in there along with jalapenos. So it's kind of like I do a lot of tasting as I cook. And that's where it's kind of like.
This is so good in the wings. I'm about to pay you to make something. Seriously.
Well, I actually need to change the oil on that too, because the oil's getting a little long in the tooth. But I'm glad that you are enjoying. Well, okay, guys. We're still on here. I'm getting some chili and some chips and stuff. What we're gonna do? Let me describe this. We'll actually turn the camera a little bit here. Okay, guys, don't panic. We're just going to turn this for a quick second here to describe what we're doing. Okay. Currently, this over here is the Jobu set that I have. I've got a TV that I use to go ahead and see all your guys' comments and everything else. I got the cameras and stuff over there. I've got actually the lights that are up here for the set. This actually works pretty good, but I've got the new mixer, I've got the computer and all that, and I'm expanding it, and I'm also going to be bringing in people that are actually going to be part of the set. So what I'm currently doing in the shop is I'm building another locker like this one. So we're going to take this locker, we're going to put it over here where all the Super Bowl seat cushions, and Eagles, see these things? These are Super Bowl seat cushions. So when you go to the Super Bowl, you get one of these. Now, I actually have one from when you guys were actually in Jacksonville. Jacksonville. That's Houston, Jacksonville. This is actually when you guys went to the Super Bowl in Jacksonville and got your ass kicked by the Patriots. But be that as it may, we're going to take all of this stuff off here, and we're going to have 2 lockers that'll be set up side by side. We'll have a bigger sports desk, and what we're going to do is we're going to put a bigger TV inside of it, so that way when we take Skype calls or when we have a guest host that's talking about the draft, they're on the TV, and it's like we're sitting here together. We'll have the whole sports desk. We'll have new lighting and everything else. So this whole wall will be the studio set. The other thing we'll be able to do is we'll have to be able to put a guest right here so we can do interviews and things right here at the set. So we're trying to make this become the Jobu Sports Report Network. And we're going to be getting a lot of different YouTubers and stuff together where we're going to be start doing some really real reporting and stuff on it. So that's kind of a look at one of the sidewalls over here. And I'm going to go ahead and actually turn the camera. Hopefully I won't give you a headache. And you can kind of see some more of the man cave that's over here. We've got the bar that's over here. And what we're going to do is we're going to put a bigger TV over the bar. We'll get a few more bar stools and stuff over here. So that way we may even have some of you fans over during the season. So let's get back to the game over here after I get my chili.
Looks like they scored a touchdown, bro.
Does that answer your question? Did that answer your question, my man? Oh, damn. Oh, right. Actually, I'll have 2 TVs for the monitors, so that way I'll have the OS the OBS software, and I'll have the other stuff there. That TV, I'm actually going to probably put a 65-inch in there, and I'll probably put a bigger one up here on the bar, so that way we'll be able to have this like a whole sports club. Okay. So, guys, I'm almost back. I forgot the salsa over here. Yeah, it's right behind the bar there. All right, so we're back. Sorry, guys, for the little interruption, but that gives you an idea of what some of the stuff that we're planning. I'm actually already building that locker up in my in my workshop right now. Hopefully, by the end of next weekend, I'll have that actually installed. And here it is, Matt Ryan scrambling. We got a flag, so that's going to be probably illegal contact. Give him a first down in 5 yards.
That's why they're still in this drive, because that penalty to the hand. Illegal hit to the head.
They got to score.
That's the only reason they're still in it.
Defensive holding.
Please run the football.
Oh, they've got to get into the end zone here. You cannot waste this opportunity.
Well, they have the first down, so they might as well run it. But they tried to run it before, and
Yeah, they definitely held him.
The stopped them down the line. They got a break. You got a break with this flag. They did get a break.
How about the Seahawks? Ooh. Just run. Just run. Run. You should have just ran it, Ryan.
He was wide open for 5 seconds.
Ugh. I don't know what he was waiting for.
And he could have just ran it.
Throw the ball right there.
Right there.
You could have ran it. And got a couple more yards.
Get it down to the 1 yard side.
You should have ran it. And got what you could with the run.
Boy, they are chugging down there.
It's 2 penalties and why this where they are for the penalties. That's what shut down the beginning was running.
Yeah, but it's too far. It's too far away to try and run now. It's too late. They should have done that first.
What Matt Ryan should have done was just kept running with the ball and got what he could get with it. Instead of throwing it.
My sister's an Eagles fan, right? So when they
Oh.
got Fletcher Cox, she was like, "Who's Fletcher Cox?" I was like, I wanted him so bad.
Oh man.
Fletcher Cox.
Third and goal. Come on, Matt.
Don't sell for a field goal. As much as I don't think you're gonna win.
Touchdown.
Touchdown.
Play.
Mm.
No, he wasn't.
It's like it's about
Wow.
he made nothing, something or nothing.
It's some good chili. I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but this is some good chili here tonight. Dak would have walked in. I agree. Mm.
Boy,
But don't take it down the wrong pipe like my man. You in trouble then. Mm-hmm. All right, so Jose, I would love to put the TV on, but I'll lose my channel.
Go to Facebook.
It's just what it is.
Go to Facebook.
You can go to Facebook and you can watch it on there online. That's the best I can tell you. But basically, the reason why I'm actually live streaming here is because I have Eagle fans that are saying, "Oh yeah, we want you on there. So when we win, we're going to make fun of you during the game in real time. But as you see, it's been a roller coaster ride because whenever they score, they're here. When the Falcons score, they're gone. So you see our numbers have just dropped by about 100. If they end up, I tell you what, if they end up running the ball back on this kick return, I guarantee it'll go up to 1,000 views right here and now.
Where's my man EDP at, man?
He's actually at the game.
Oh, okay.
Last I saw. He probably has a heart attack.
Oh, man. 4 fumbles, yeah. Here's the thing, though. They've had 4 fumbles, but they're still in the game. So there's that.
It's experience at this point. That was an experienced play right there.
Mm-hmm.
The penalties is why they're still in on that drive.
Well, what's your thoughts on Dak Prescott?
At this point, we already made the move where we bumped Romo out for him, so we got to let him grow. And at this point, it's his second year. The sophomore slump, guys like Ben Roethlisberger, Tom Brady, they gone through the sophomore slump. So sometimes you need it to grow. I just think at this point, let him grow, and maybe get him some help in here. Like not necessarily.
You mean like some coaching?
Yeah, like some coaching. Absolutely coaching, but also maybe a player mentor. You know,
let's pray that Brandon Wheat does not get the job.
Brandon, but you mean
it's Kellen
Moore.
I thought he already got it. He didn't.
No,
it's not. It hasn't
no. Here's what they kind of stepped back on that.
They haven't determined it yet.
Because it seemed like everybody who had been pretty much rumored to be coming in, including Tom Cable right now for the offensive line. Tom Cable was.
I would love that, by the way.
Well, well, he interviewed with us. So, did he? Since this morning? Wow, that was quick. Okay. But he's part of the Scott Linehan tree, too, because they were teammates in college.
But I would love Tom Cable. He brings that hard-nosed type of what we need, especially up front, with some guys that are pretty hard-nosed anyway.
Well, I have some people that said that they would take Marcus Mariota over Dak Prescott in a heartbeat.
I wouldn't.
And I was kind of like, have you actually looked at his numbers? Because his numbers have been going steadily down.
They got lucky.
I mean, he was.
Last week.
Am I wrong on that? Did he sign? Okay, I missed that though. This morning he was interviewing with the Cowboys.
They probably did, and then he signed.
But Mariota was 13 touchdowns, 16 interceptions this year. And I'm kind of like, you go ahead and take that.
Absolutely
Dak was
not.
22 and 13.
Like, is it that people think Dak had this horrible of a year because Wentz was so good?
Wentz was garbage last year.
I know. I mean,
they got him wide receivers, and look what he did.
Exactly.
Until he got hurt.
At this point, man, just let Dak grow as a quarterback. Let him grow as a quarterback. I mean, like Bryce Butler said in this interview, which I agreed with, is that this is still Romo's offense, but Romo isn't here. And
need to make it Dak friendly.
But at least with Dak last year, with Romo being there, he could at least tell him what he's going to see before he's seeing it. He doesn't have that anymore. So now you got to make it Dak friendly.
The problem for me, and everybody says that, I'm not saying exactly what some of these people say, but they say basically I'm just on his jock because I just am a Dak Prescott, lover and this, that, and the other. But I looked at last season, everything was perfect. Dak Prescott got thrown into it at the right time. If it had been that Tony Romo started the first game or two of the season, and then Kelvin Moore went in there and laid an egg, and then Dak Prescott got thrown in there, I don't think he would have done anything. The fact that Tony Romo went down, that Kelvin Moore went down, Dak was getting those extra reps when Tony Romo was having to take this time off. He was getting all those preseason games under his belt. That when finally Romo was like, Romo's not starting. Well, Romo hasn't really done anything in the training camp anyway. It was mostly Dak getting all those reps. You had the offensive line was perfect last year. The offensive line was blowing holes. I think I could have picked up a yard or two with those lines. I mean, literally, Zeke wasn't getting touched for 3 yards downfield.
Absolutely.
Defenses realize, okay, we can't sit around and do a read defense and let these guys maul us. What we got to do is we got to do run blitzing and shoot the gaps, get upfield and penetrate, and make Zeke Elliott have to make a move in the backfield. Because Zeke is, let me hit that hole right now and I'm gone. Zeke Elliott having to cut, figure out where daylight is not the same back. And that's where his numbers kind of went back because the offensive line's not opening those holes. Then you had Des Bryant not being able to get separation and break, so that shortened the field as well. And then you've got play calling. I'm still trying to understand in the Seattle game when you had Zeke Elliott who said, I want to get 200 yards. I'm pissed off. I want to run the ball. And we end up going in shotgun on first downs. You're basically saying, okay, we're probably going to throw the ball. I understand if you're under center and then throw the ball. Use them as a decoy. But you're going to be using them as a decoy. To only run him 11 times the second half against Seattle, you have to start questioning the play calling as well. And that seems to be the default with Linehan is to keep throwing the ball too much and become one-dimensional where defenses can say, pin your ears back and go after the quarterback.
Agreed.
And so now all of a sudden you got Tyron Smith going and you're getting beat up by guys like Claiborne on nobody who's getting 6 sacks. You've got receivers that aren't getting open. And the only thing that you're going to hit is this dink and dunk. Nobody's going to succeed in that.
Now, there's one thing I want to tell you that you missed in what you were saying.
Yeah.
And that's when Romo went down, Dez went down too.
True.
And again, it goes back to what I was saying about how the chemistry was there. The chemistry isn't there with him and Dez, but it seems to be there with other guys. Yeah, he just missed that one. But maybe his chemistry is there because not only did Romo go down and he was pretty much, sink or swim, he didn't have Dez either. So he came out like almost guns a-blazing without Dez Bryant. And then when Dez came back, it's like, well, people are wondering why his numbers aren't the same. So this year they said, well, look, we're going to force feed Dez. And we took a step back. In my opinion.
Well, we took a step back in a lot of areas. I mean, we took a step back with the offensive line, clearly. It took a while to get, with Leary being gone. Coleman still had to work in being the left tackle. Even though he played in college, it still was an adjustment from him not starting really the year before.
Agreed.
And the year before that, he was a guard. So it was a new learning curve, and he was facing some of the top pass rushers in the NFL. And then you had originally Chaz Green as the guard and then Jonathan Cooper. So there was that flux there as well. And then you got Tyron. So it was kind of a confluence of a lot of things, I think, that hurt him in general. But for all these people who are out there like, oh, man, he sucks. He can't read. He can't do this and that and the other. Get rid of him. He's a bum. And we need to trade up and get a first-round quarterback. I'm kind of like, take a look at Jared Goff last year. Jared Goff looked like a bust. Right?
I still think, in my opinion, Dak is better than Jared Goff.
Oh, I agree. But
he's a better play caller. Yeah, exactly.
Thank you. You got basically the same team from last year. You end up changing the coach. You went from Jeff Fisher, who, has been around forever. You get a young guy with a different offense out there, and all of a sudden from 4-12 to a playoff team. To me, that's coaching.
Yeah.
You look at the Atlanta Falcons, who they were constantly, in the playoffs one year and losing every year, out the next, back and forth. They were us, what we are right now. They fired their coach, and 2 years later, he's in the Super Bowl. They're in here right now, possibly taking another step this year back to back.
Yeah.
You look at Denver, who had a coach who went to the Super Bowl. They fired him, brought in Kubiak. They're going to win a Super Bowl. So if you get all these coaches here and teams that are good teams that just aren't making the playoffs, a la the Dallas Cowboys, they make changes, and all of a sudden, look, Buffalo's another one. Got rid of the Ryan brothers. And look at them now.
Don't get me started on the Ryan brothers.
Oh, overrated. Way overrated.
That's a name. That's what it is.
It is. Totally overrated. Rob, especially Rob. Rob is just all freaking. Oh, everybody was excited when we hired Rob Ryan. I was like, oh no, you don't want that blowhard here in Dallas.
But I'm with the young coach movement right now. I think that the young guys, I mean, not necessarily super young, but like, for example, like just not stuck in their old ways. And even though Jason Garrett's kind of young, we're still doing a lot of '90s stuff.
There's no innovation with our offense. I'm
Like
sorry.
we don't have Moose, so
There is no innovation with our offense whatsoever.
none. Like it's cut and dry. You know what it is. I can even tell when a person's coming in the jet
And
sweep
if I
when
tell
they're
you,
getting the ball.
what pisses me off more than anything else is everybody says, "Well, he was coach of the year last year." It's like, are you kidding me?
That ceremony was all about the Cowboys last year. It was nothing but the Cowboys last year because the Jerry Jones hitting that.
Good play call right there.
Nice.
What was it?
Damn. 2-minute warning. Don't let the Falcons go down here and score right now.
I think they are going to score a touchdown here. And that's the thing about playoff football. When you get an inch,
Mhm.
they let you get a mile. When you're experienced,
Mhm.
this is where you can lose a game because 17-6 going into the half could look
See,
could look
the
bad.
Eagles. Here's the thing: the Eagles are about to have happen to us, which to me happened to us almost every single time. We almost always elected to receive, and what always ended up happening is the other team always had the ball to end the half and usually scored, and then they got the ball to start the second half, score again, and all of a sudden the onslaught was on, and we didn't adjust at halftime, and boom. Every single time, so it's like to me, I was just like, guys, can we just kick instead of receiving? Let's get the ball to start the second half. Let's try and set a tone there. But just like here, Falcons get the ball here to end the half. They're going to get the ball to start the second half. And if they get another score here, this game is over, or conceivably over. And it's not over, but
If they get a touchdown here, I think it's over
I don't see anything from Nick Foles that says that we're going to mount a comeback.
because it takes away what they were doing so well, which is run the football.
Right,
Cold
and they're
weather.
going to have to play catch up.
Yeah.
Well, cruising. I've got a few salty Raider fans have been on. There's one Raider fan that's been on here who keeps asking me to explain the card, the index card. Here's the thing. If you watch that, and I'll go through and I'll get the clip of that. Take no. Take a good. Michael, where's your phone thing? Your camera stand, Paul. If you take a look at when they were looking at that, the pole wasn't plumb. That pole was leaning away from the football. And the way the rule is if the ball can touch the pole, any part of it can touch the pole, or is in lining up the pole, then it's a first down. The pole was leaning like this, and they still took the card down to see if there's space between the two of them. Card didn't go through it. It stopped. It hit the football. It was a first down, buddy. Get over it. But as Michael's poll here, if you take a good look at it, and, because I build houses and stuff, oh, wow, this is really tall.
Yeah, 70 inches.
I can tell a wall when it's not plumb or not. But we've got the chain on the bottom, and when that thing, it was leaning like this when they had it there. Take a good look at it, Raider fan. Take a good look. And so if see if you guys get some sound. Let me put on the other microphone, the Mevo itself. See if you guys get some volume on that.
Sanu has been their guy on third down. Some of this game.
We'll change the batteries up on here.
What are you doing? You ain't getting. You're up there dancing.
What was the play call?
Should went straight ahead.
They're playing field position. They're playing field position, and they're just saying Foles beat us. Pretty much. If they were afraid of Nick Foles, I think that they would have tried to get the first down.
Okay. Testing.
I heard you.
Well, that's because he's over there by that microphone. Let me try. Hello. Okay. Okay, hopefully that gets us back in track. Okay, lots of static. Yeah, it must have been the Raiders, the Raiders guy there. Say something into that microphone.
Hello.
Okay, I hear you fine here. Okay, hopefully that took care of it.
Hello.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh.
Don't what?
That's gotta be
Okay,
a flag
hopefully
right
that
there.
gets us back in
It's probably
track.
running into.
Okay,
That's
lots of
rough.
static.
Well, yeah, he was off the ground.
Okay, apologize for that, guys. Here's the crazy thing with the Raiders guy. The crazy thing with this is when the batteries start to get low,
He touched
they
it.
literally.
But
That's roughly. It's roughing the kicker.
Damn.
He touched the ball
Did
though.
he touch the ball?
But the kicker looked like he got hurt.
Well, you can't see it from that shot.
I know, but it looked like the kicker got hurt
He touched it.
because of his leg.
He touched it.
Yeah, his finger. Yeah, his finger touched it.
Ooh.
That's the knee. Where's the mixer? Because I'm still trying to get the software and stuff together, I'm using actually my Mevo instead of.
Is the kicker okay?
Can't tell. It's up to up there.
The boot.
Well, it's under 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Running into the kicker. That's
So
huge.
is that challengeable? Even by the review?
Apparently not.
No, not under 2 minutes. You can't challenge.
Nope.
Oh, it is
Yeah,
under
okay,
review.
yeah.
Okay, it's under review.
But you can't
Um,
challenge under 2
I don't have the
minutes.
mixer
Yeah, I knew
on
that. I
because
just meant by the
I'm still
New York
redoing the OBS software. I didn't have a chance to do that today. So I'm actually using the Mevo camera instead of the Wi-Fi camera because the Mevo has actually a much better look into it, and I can kind of do a lot of different things with it and so forth. Like right now, you're seeing Michael right there in the shot. You see my man over here on the couch. You're seeing me. You know, I can pan around and we can actually look up here and zoom in on Troy Aikman right there. So, and look around at some of the different stuff that's around in here. And like we can kind of go back over here and see our pieces of the old stadium and stuff.
I mean, he tipped it.
Oh, he tipped it, yeah.
Messed them fingers up.
But is the kicker okay?
Kicker fine.
The ball was tipped. No penalty. Okay.
It doesn't matter because they're not going to
Show the doggy.
take the ball where
Oh,
it is.
of course
Okay.
it will.
Oh, sorry.
It's only
I've got
46 seconds.
Michael over there.
You never had it in that score.
I don't know why, but Atlanta gives me that. They remind me of the New York Giants when the New York Giants would go through their runs.
Uh-huh.
Like, we didn't think that they were that good, but it's just like running the ball, chipping away here, pass rush being good, and you just
Right.
somehow end up in the Super Bowl.
All right, 44 seconds left. See if the Eagles try and, oh! Now that was one of those blocks that you do not see coming.
They're going to call a
Ouch.
timeout here? They got oh, they only.
They got
They
two
got two.
timeouts and they're not using them.
I thought they had three. What happened to the third one?
I think they used it.
Yeah. Oh.
Offsides. Yep. 22 seconds they got offsides. So that's going to be into that.
So is there? How does the runoff work?
Well, they can take a timeout.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's one thing to do.
Well, that just pretty much ruined that drive for them.
That's right.
Going to halftime.
So that's why we're actually using this camera and instead of the other one.
And not even a field goal range.
They should just run the ball and go in the half.
That's right.
You don't want to risk a turnover here.
Hopeful of getting a chance to kick a field goal. Here's the comparison amongst the two guys again. Ryan with 5.
Ryan is slowly
66
having a
yards.
pretty solid game.
Right, 12 of 17. It's 108 rating, yeah, versus 87. I didn't think Foles was actually that close to 87. I thought he was a lot worse than that. Seemed like there was a lot of passes to me that were way off.
Yeah, this with his pass rush is playing. Oh,
Boom.
pick.
Oh,
Oh,
you got to be kidding me.
Is that enough?
There's a
wow,
flag.
that was an Orlando Scandrick play right there, wasn't it? How do you kick the ball up? What is this, Angels in the outfield?
Look like they picked
Damn.
the flag.
That pass rush is just.
They threw the flag and then they picked it up.
Well, we are in Pennsylvania. It wasn't quite the immaculate reception.
Damn.
Very bizarre. It hits his knee.
Nah, that hit like it hit his hands and not his knee.
Mm. Mm.
Like I said, you better take a knee.
It's all good though. Nah, they're good. They just got
12
one play.
seconds.
They got one
No
play that they
timeouts.
can get maybe to the sideline. They could probably get a field goal try, but that wind is swirling. So,
Mm.
but he did put one through 61 yards though.
Keep them in bounds and keep them out of the end zone. It's going to be very tough
You
to
better
get
play
on
this conservative.
another play.
Play to the sideline here.
Yo, here we go, look.
That was a hold. Damn,
Yeah, that was a
they,
hold.
they tackled the guy.
Woo.
Jeffrey was there, but took 5 seconds. You're down to 7.
Atlanta must have pissed off the NFL or something.
Mm.
You got to be careful, no pass interference there too, because that
Maybe
would
Blank is
hurt
suing them too.
the
Maybe Blank suing them too.
right there. Think of
Big time hold right there.
Brian Poole going up for the football, which he has every right to do. But you never know.
I'm a big fan of Trufant.
Mm-hmm.
Probably was going to be more of True Font coming over the back.
Wow.
Who's the other true fan? The played for Seattle.
Yeah. Look at Beasley. Oh, 1 second.
Damn. Great play.
Yeah. Can he kick it from that far? If they could get points right here, that's
That's
confidence
huge.
going into half.
If they get a field goal here, 10-9, oh, it's a different game.
Check the play clock here.
So we're talking about 45, 52.
1 second, so here we go.
52-yarder.
It's the swirly winds though.
Yeah.
He might make this thing. Looks
He got it.
it. That's good.
Down the pipe. Uh-oh.
Man, this might be meant to be for Philadelphia, man, because that should have been an interception.
That was a great
possibly
kick.
six.
Up. Eagle fans are back. They're back for halftime. Well, I told Tom Donnelly the moron that it was going to be a tight game. I didn't see a whole lot of scoring in there. And this is about as tight as it's going to be. Second half is ours, says Brandon Cooks. Okay.
Brandon Cooks. Don't you
Why
have a
does
game
the
in New
basement
England?
smell like the inside of my belly button? Okay. Anybody that smell like somebody's belly button?
What?
Wow. You had to reach for that one, man. We'll give you an A for creativity on that one.
They're seriously never going to teach us biology.
My TV is way slow. Well, here's the thing. You got to understand that there's the delay, of course, for the TV, and then there's a delay for the YouTube as well. YouTube is about 7 or 8 seconds behind, so sorry. It is what it is. You can't get it any quicker than that.
Staying warm and cozy this winter with Guess
Robert Seymour, I agree with you. F the Eagles. Pure luck. It's magic, Mark. Okay. Is this, no, it's not. Well, we got our buddy, the Raider fan on here. Why didn't the Falcons play like shit when the Cowboys root for them? Okay. Go figure. I can't tell you on that one. I could not tell you that one. But they don't look like the same team that we played. I can tell you that for sure. All right, so here's what I'm going to ask you. What is your opinion? Because I'm rooting for one team over another between Pittsburgh and Jacksonville. Who you got in that?
I think Pittsburgh's going to win.
I mean, they're playing, of course, at home. You know, Jacksonville's the underdog.
Yeah.
But defense, man. Yeah, they're too young to know to be scared.
Right.
And with my boy Calais Campbell, he was a beast.
Yeah, last week.
Huh?
You called it, didn't you?
I said that's the one guy that you buy the farm for. He had 4 hits on the quarterback last week, and I think 6 or 7 tackles. I mean,
For his position, that's high.
And it probably helps that you have a Malik Jackson.
I mean, that whole defense. I mean,
Yeah.
with Jalen Ramsey and everything else. I mean, they are that
Fowler.
That defense is a beast. Can you imagine if we had a defense like that? Or could you imagine if somebody? I don't know who it was, but somebody said that the Cowboys should try and get.
It's a big difference when you got guys up there that can actually rush.
Oh, that's
Yeah, he
right.
never had a rush in Dallas. But I like Church though. With us.
Campbell he'll be 30.
It's not bad. I mean, he looks young for 30.
He takes good care of himself. And the funny thing is I look fat next to him. He's 6'8" and about 300 pounds. He's stretched out. He is definitely. He's not as big as he was in with the Cardinals, but he's lean. He is really lean right now. Because when I looked at him, I'm like, damn, Calais, you really have got. You slimmed down some. You know, you're 300 pounds. I'm 270. And it looks like it's reversed. Yeah. So, Eagles, I want to know, how are you guys feeling right now?
I'm sure they're feeling better.
Are you feeling confident that you got the momentum back, that your team is ready to rock and roll? Hey, I'll give credit where credit's due. That last pass that Nick Foles threw, getting it there with 1 second on the clock, hey, that was straight money. 4 turnovers, the fact that you guys have had 4 fumbles and you're only 1 point down, that's kind of scary. HH 4560, dude. I don't want that kind of stuff in my channel there, buddy. Okay? So watch your language. We have a lot of nice ladies that come on here. We have some children as young as 7 years old that are subscribers to the channel. And this is not that kind of channel. If you want to do that, go to EDPs or somebody else like that. We don't do that stuff here. Okay, so, dude.
I wonder what his contract is. Now, I will ask you guys this question.
What's that?
If DeMarco Murray, depending on his contract, is gone, would you welcome him back like a secondary role as a running back?
Nah, too many miles on him.
Even if he just comes in as maybe a third down spell guy for Zeke?
Going to
I know it's a young man's position. It's something to think about.
That's Rod Smith's job.
Yeah, I even think we could upgrade there. I mean, they love him, but there's some guys in the draft. I haven't broken down running backs yet, but every year there's somebody in the 4th, 5th round.
Running backs, I mean, you got my man Zeke.
You got Alfred Morris and you got
Rod Smith, I'm happy with. You know, if you want another running back, I mean, I feel like Alfred Morris is going to get paid by somebody.
Yeah, this was his last year of his contract, right?
Right. He's going to get paid by somebody and all that. But I would go through the draft and get another young guy,
I agree.
if anything. I'm sorry. Running backs.
That's a luxury.
That age, yeah. And I'm sure he's not going to come in for just a veteran minimum contract.
Yeah, not at this point.
Kristen, don't waste time. He doesn't know how to speak to real women. Excuse me? Okay. We must be talking about the guy we just kind of put in timeout. Shallow Hal. Oh, there's Shallow Hal. Okay. Shallow Hal will take anybody over Dak Prescott and is so in love with Tony Romo.
Romo likes the new deal.
Yeah, good point on DeMarco Murray. He went to Philadelphia and he's got that stank on him.
Yeah, but he went to Philadelphia to get paid. That's all. It's his paycheck.
What do I think about Rod Martinelli? Rod Martinelli does more with less than anybody else and is great with coaching defensive linemen. Of our coordinators, I'd rather keep him than Scott Linehan. He is actually considering retiring. They're giving him all the time that he wants to decide that. We'll have to wait and see what his decision is. But if he goes, God, I'm having a brain fart right now. The coach from the Raiders that just got canned. God, why am I having a brain fart? Former Cowboy player, Jack Del Rio. Thank you. Jack Del Rio, I would love to have as our defensive coordinator. I mean, I actually would like to have Jack Del Rio as defensive coordinator. I mean, I know he had that whole axe incident in Jacksonville. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Where we've had the axe where we keep chopping wood and the kicker cut his foot on it. Okay. Damn kickers. Okay. But and speaking of the Raiders, so the Raiders are now being investigated for circumventing the Rooney Rule. Basically, they knew they were going for Gruden long before this season was over with.
They said they could swim. They said we have strong confidence we can swim out of the blue. $100 million, 10 years.
Whew. Well, who would you like to see for the coordinator if Rod Martinelli retires?
It would be Don Capers. How do you feel about Don Capers?
Don Capers.
He's 3-4 though, isn't he?
Yeah.
And we spent so much getting back to the 4-3.
Right.
I think. Well, hey, look, we're doing the right thing. We're watching playoff football because that's where normally the hot guys that's normally the guys that you want.
Kristen. So Kristen, you have a woman cave, huh? And you can send me some of those cards from the card show if you like. And I tell you what, go ahead and hit me on Facebook or email me. I'd love to see some pictures of your lady cave. Shallow Hal, the bandwagon. You're right about that one. Shallow Hal, you want an apology if Mariota beats the Patriots? Yeah, hold your breath for that one.
They're not beating the Patriots. That's a dream.
The only respectable Cowboy fan is Shango. Somebody asked, what is our first pick in the draft? What is the position of need?
I think it depends on what falls to you. You don't want to get a receiver just to get a receiver. You don't want to get a tackle just to get a tackle. Absolutely.
Damn, Mark running game. Okay.
But if you ask me, I love Calvin Ridley.
I have to agree with you guys. Shango is a beast, man. Eagles fans, not so much. Wade Phillips. Wade Phillips isn't coming back here. That's right. Defensive tackle for the first pick? Really?
Not at where we are. Not at where we are.
Well, all the dislikes on the stream are because of all of you Eagle fans that are out there because, and that's fine. Only reason I'm doing this is because Eagle fans said they want me on here because they knew they were going to be blowing out the Atlanta Falcons and they wanted to give it to me the whole time. Thus far, I've been sitting here and I got to tell you, I got no egg on my face right now. So I'm still waiting. You got 30 minutes left to go ahead and get to that.
Divisional playoffs continue tonight on CBS, then tomorrow on CBS and Fox. And don't miss the
Well, here's, guys, I'm old. And, I'm new doing YouTube and Facebook and all this stuff and that and the other. I'm just trying to understand the reason that people have to just try and tear you down. And it's not just you Eagle fans or Giant fans. There's even some other Cowboy fans that are out there. That's not what this channel is about, man. I had no problem with talking with fans from any team, anybody, black, white, young, old, whatever. We can have a conversation. I can hate your team because I hate the Eagles. But you and me can be cool because to me, one of the great things about football is being able to talk trash. When my team wins, to go ahead and talk trash about yours and get it given back to me when mine loses, or the camaraderie of understanding, man, our Cowboys suck, man. We console each other. That's the great thing about football. And it used to be football was the one thing that we all could agree on. It would bring people together from different walks and likes and stuff like that. You could be walking down the street to a complete stranger and you see a Dallas Cowboy shirt or hat on. Hey, what's up, man? How about them Cowboys? Unfortunately, this year it kind of got turned a little bit, but I hope we get back to football being the thing that brings people back together. And the same thing with this channel. My motto is spread the mojo. If you're a YouTuber and things and you want to come on the show or you want to shout out or there's something I can do, I'm more than happy to help you or help anybody. And I hope that somebody would do the same for me because I believe you do unto others as you want to be treated. So I don't understand this stuff where some of you guys put these comments that you're putting up in there. It just doesn't make sense to me. But then again, I'm old.
winner advancing. Philadelphia, if they win, stay here.
Right now, you're right, Virginia's finest. I probably do have more. And see, this is what I'm talking about as far as what happened to our Cowboys. Every time we had a game and we got blown out, we ended the game where we were on defense and then had to come back out on defense again. The defense all of a sudden starts losing it, and the offense is stone cold. So it'll be interesting to see what the Falcons do with the ball right now if they go down and march and get a score real quick.
Philly's pass rush, and that's what he's hoping for. But he said against the run, they're not tackling well. He said we're tackling too high. We've got to go for their legs. As for Doug Peterson, the Eagles were putting the ball on the ground way too much. But he wants to run
The thing about the Falcons right now, I think that the hot guy is Tevin Coleman.
Right.
Freeman, he's been okay today. He hasn't been spectacular, but every time I've seen Coleman in there, it's been 8, 9, 10 yards. He might be the hot guy today.
Mm-hmm.
It's the luxury of having
Fletcher
it.
Cox is a beast.
Yeah, he is.
I have to give props to him.
And what he did to escape within the pocket and make plays. It was big third down plays in which he had to find a way to just flip the ball out and then ultimately culminating with this touchdown. Just an absolutely spectacular play. Great half by Matt.
All right. 2nd and 8. Come on, Falcons.
Now, I'll tell you what, if there's a flip. Oh,
That's a knee. Or just slipped. I'll put it this way. Philadelphia Eagles fly. I don't. I do not go on other people's channels and disrespect them. And I get trolls in here all the time that say a lot of things. In fact, today, during this stream, I've had a few. I'll put them in timeout, or if it just continues to be habitual, I will block. But I personally do not do that. That's all I'm saying. So I'm asking those out there that are doing it not to do it, because that's what this channel is about. Like I said, I welcome fans from any channel, any team whatsoever, but respect other people in the channel.
Wow.
You can tell me my Cowboys stink. At least give me reasons or proof or evidence why
run for it.
Why they suck. Because I'm more than happy to argue with somebody.
Defense creates a 3
Wow, that's crazy. They were man across the board right there.
He should have kept running. Why pass it when you have a lane?
Fake one right there.
Yeah.
He could, I mean, it was
That was
third
great
down,
play
it
on
was third
defense.
down anyway, so it wouldn't matter if they get the first.
Philadelphia defense has made some pretty good
They've made
stops.
some really good stops. With as many times as they've put the ball on the field,
That's all they have to do.
to only giving up 10 points, they're doing their job.
And really, that one touchdown was off of a muff punt. Or
That's a good field position. About the 40.
now, see, this is what's going to happen. Philly's going to shoot themselves in the foot because Ajayi's been, like we've been talking about, the hot hand. Ajayi's been the hot hand for them, and he's been finding a way
Ajayi's
to
got
keeping him off the field.
8 carries for 50 yards. Tevin Coleman actually has got 5 rushes for 42 yards. Freeman 6 carries for 8 yards. So yeah, it's a big drop off. I think this may be a big drive right here for Atlanta. If Atlanta doesn't stop them, all of a sudden they've kind of gotten stone cold here. Mm-hmm. Reuben Foster, yeah. Not real wise.
So I have a question. Have you heard anything about Randy Gregory's situation?
No, people have been asking me about that one, but I have not heard anything from him. He's eligible to be reinstated, but the question is what is his state of mind? Has he been working out?
He turned the corner.
Okay.
I've heard that about everybody.
Yeah, I've heard him say that about him a couple of times. Yeah. I mean, for the Cowboys, there was no reason to cut him because it wasn't costing anything. Every time he was suspended, he lost game check, so they paid him peanuts. And I guess they figure if they wait long enough, marijuana will be legal in the NFL, so it won't matter. We still have his rights.
It should be legal.
But going back to that, to the salary cap, we have Tyron Smith is 17.5. Dez is 16.5. Travis Frederick is 13.2. Sean Lee's 11. Zach Martin is 9.
For $5.99? Yes.
Damn. Tyrone Crawford is 9.1.
Yeah. He's getting the X.
Zeke 6. Jason Witten is 6. After that, everybody is 5 and under. So that's where I say you got a lot of big stars. You start putting together Tyron Smith and Dez, that's 33. Travis Frederick, 43, 46. Sean Lee, 56. Zach Martin, 65. Tyrone Crawford, $75 million. For 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players. $75 million for 6 players. That only leaves you $100 million for 47 other guys. Yeah. So that means that average salary is like $2.2 million.
If you look at it, we knew that this was going to be a process where it would take years, and I think that Will McClay's thing, as we pointed out the other day, has been great because if you look at the list, it used to be a whole bunch of guys making big money, as you pointed out. So,
it used to be we'd have $90 million with 8 guys. Good stop right there. And see, here's the thing that free agency is a great tool to supplement your team, but you can't build a team with it because those guys are going to cost too much. What you have to do, and this is what New England has done for year after year after year, is draft well. Because, give me an example, Taco's cap number is $2.2 million as a first-round draft pick compared to Tyrone Crawford, again, that's 9.1. So when you look at what it costs you for rookies, you've got to be able to draft well. Damn!
Flag. Is that a flag? Or is that
no flag. And hit on those draft picks and get them playing young. And as they get ready for that second contract, you can only keep a certain number of those guys, but you let them go on, knowing that you have draft picks to hopefully fill in those gaps. And that's the only way you really can build a team.
3rd and 4.
Big play here. 3rd and 4.
During the regular season, that's his second catch tonight for 14 yards.
Nick Football. Come on, Nick Football.
They ran the ball.
Nope.
Not now.
Wow. Wow.
Well, they go for it at midfield.
Nah, they're gonna punt this. Cause, well, that's a good. They could go for it because if you run on 3rd down normally, I would punt the ball. We play field position. It's a 1-point game.
You know, I keep.
We somehow always manage to get like super athletic kickers or something. You remember David? Remember David Bueller? You remember him?
Yeah. David Bueller was killing people downfield.
David Bueller could have been a safety.
That's what I'm saying. He was killing people downfield, literally. Not too often would you see a unnecessary roughness on a kicker, but David Bueller had a couple of them. Eagles are straight garbage, says Anthony Jenkins.
Garbage.
Okay.
Garbage.
Spoiler alert, they punt. Okay. Damn. Let's go, Falcons. Man, I got to tell you that this is kind of an ugly, boring game.
I don't know. It's not ugly and boring to me because, I mean, like, I love trench-type football. And
Michael's channel is Michael Anthony. Michael Anthony. And he's doing some workout stuff. He's also doing some, giving some recipes for his protein drinks and things like that. And mixture. So, you know, he's working on it and everything else and figuring out exactly what it's going to be. But it's Michael Anthony. And I tell you what, I will put the link. Let me make sure I can
No, it
find
does come up now with Michael Anthony, but it's hard to find for some people.
there's probably a lot of Michael Anthony's out there.
It's all hundreds.
Oh, damn. Oh, you sent it to me in my email. Let me.
I don't know what to tell you, buddy. It's not my grill. I'm thinking it might be my grill.
I think it might be my grill. Okay.
McDonald's new $1, $2, $3 menu. Next time I want you on my bowling tape.
Oh, and Martin Holman, shout out to you on your birthday here today, buddy. Happy birthday, man. And I appreciate the support from you, man. Keep spreading the mojo. And
I literally coined the phrase, we give you coverage options based on your budget. It's me. Jamie! You're back from Italy! Mwah! Mwah! Ciao, Bella.
Damn, Mike, where are you? Kamar, how are you feeling about your Falcons right now? Are you happy with them? There it is. Copy. Okay, sorry.
This is how I think the Steelers in the Jacksonville game is going to end up being. Probably one possession with Ben. Ben got the ball. He's down, maybe like 4.
That's Mike's channel.
I sent you the link.
I got it.
Or Fournette. Oh, okay.
You can play. You can phone.
That's the link for Michael's channel right there. Car choked. Okay.
There he is right there.
There
Tevin
you
Coleman.
go. Little Tevin Coleman.
But I tell you, 10 yards a pop.
My opinion with the Raiders and John Gruden, a 10-year, $100 million contract. Wow. That shit's crazy.
So they go to Las Vegas
They're going to be going to Vegas.
in about a couple of years.
Yeah.
That's the game we need to go see too when we play them in Vegas.
You know what?
And the time I play them, we'll be in Vegas.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate here on reasons why I think Jason Garrett got another year. I think they heard through the grapevine that there's no chance of getting a John Gruden. I believe they figured there's no way they were going to get Harbaugh, and that Jerry Jones was looking around saying, "Who can I really get to make a splash?" And with the season being as bad as it was, you had Dak Prescott regress. You lost Zeke Elliott for 6 games. You had Tyron Smith go down. Your offensive line was in flux. Your play calling was bad. Your defense was night and day different with Sean Lee in and out. And with all of those things that happened, you still went 5-1 in your division. You still were 9-7. And in most years, 9-7 would have gotten you in the playoffs. In fact, if you'd been the AFC, you would have been in the playoffs. So I'm thinking that Jerry Jones is saying, do I want to blow this up and start all over? Or can I just hope that a couple of things from this year go right next year?
Mm-hmm.
If I tweak it just a little bit, maybe the young guys on the defense get a little bit better. Zeke Elliott, we don't have him lost for 6 games. We make a few moves, we're in the playoffs. Because when you look at the cycle in football, which like we talked about, you're up and then you're down, there's only 2 teams that don't follow that normal curve. And that is New England, who is always up,
Man-child.
and the Doo-Doo Browns, which are always down. Everybody else, you're playoffs or close to playoffs, and then you step back. You're playoffs, and you go back. So looking at the curve and the cycle of Jason Garrett's career, we have a great season, then usually we have a bad one. Well, the bad on this one wasn't quite 4-12. It was 9-7. So Jerry, I think, is betting on that bell curve to kind of come back up, and maybe it's 11-5 season and you win the division. That's what I think they're banking on. Because again, you know, we play the AFC South next year. Not quite as bad as the AFC West, I don't believe. Wow, that was a smack. So that's why I think we kind of stayed pat with coaches. I can't think of any other reason why other than that.
I think you said it earlier. I think it sounds very logical, but I think you hit the hammer on the nail earlier.
I don't think we need change for the sake of change. If it were me, I believe that everybody knows what the hell we're doing. We're predictable. The book is out. And you're fighting against that. Sometimes, if you haven't won in 5 years, it's time for a change. That is enough time for you to get the players that you need for your system and your system to be implemented. And because if you haven't won in that time, your players start to tune you out.
Agreed.
And that's where you look at, okay, we're going to year 8. Okay, when is it going to happen? But I can kind of understand what Jerry Jones is trying to do on that. That's the only rational explanation I can come up.
And what kills me about it though is if you're gonna make a splash, let's make a football splash for the sake of it making sense to your football team. Like for example, the Rams made a splash by hiring the youngest head coach, Sean McVay.
From the Redskins.
Yeah, but McVay had years of a pretty solid offense in Washington.
First down.
You know what I mean? So it makes football sense. Gruden
Bill Collier Bill Collier wouldn't come out of the booth for the Cowboys to go through this drama. It'd be an interesting thought, but he wouldn't come for it.
Not sure I want anybody to come out of the booth. How about like it's a young man? It's a young man's game, and as of late, it's been a young man's game with coordinators and like innovation. Like that's what we're lacking right now. Period.
Right. Who's that?
I love Harbaugh.
Yes.
And I think he's really good with quarterbacks as well. And that's really what we need for Dak at this point. We've already
need a motivator like Herm Edwards. Herm Edwards has gone to Arizona State. Yeah. So that's not going to happen.
There's only one
but I
coach.
agree with you. I am a guy.
Tony Romo back as a coach.
I said that too.
I am a guy who loves motivators. I remember the very first game that I played in college. And make a long story short, I walked on and ended up getting on the Travis squad. And my job was to be the hot man on kickoff.
Oh, God.
Okay? The gunner. And for those of you who don't know what that is, I was right next to the kicker. And my job is to run 40 yards downfield and bust the wedge. So you've got basically like offensive linemen and things like that, big guys. Back then you could have 5 guys get together, okay, and try and make a wedge to go upfield. My job was to run into that wedge. And I remember being so happy about making the traveling squad till it set in my mind what my job was to do. But Coach Przicki had this thing. He did kind of like a Jesse Jackson speech. And I am somebody, and it just got me so pumped up. And he's like, Mark Holmes, I want you to go out there and literally knock the snot out of somebody. I was so pumped up that I literally was ready to run through that brick wall. And that's where we're missing coaches that get guys pumped up. In the pros, there's not a much difference between players out there. I mean, yeah, between Cleveland and everybody else. But for the most part, the talent is the cream of the crop. You just need that little instant. You know, that's where a guy like Charles Haley would get into your head and just give you just enough that he's gone past you. Or you get that guy that's pumped up just a little bit more. That motivation factor can be the difference between winning and losing. It could be that extra inch that you need to get that first down.
Good block by Freeman. What was he throwing the ball?
It was almost like he slowed down on that. But that's what we're missing. I don't see that in our coaching staff at all. I don't see anybody as a motivator. And that's where I also say about like Earl Thomas or even Richard Sherman. Somebody on there who's got a little bit of fire and stuff to kind of get into your face and get you pumped up and play. Who on our defense is that way? Other than Jalen Smith is about the only guy that you saw fired up out there. Jalen Smith would make a play, and yeah, okay, I made a great play, even though I got carried 3 yards down the field.
He just happened to be on the field.
I think Jordan was a little bit at the corner position. I think he was.
Damn. So this is turning into a true defensive struggle here, 10-9.
On both sides.
Matt Ryan will never be Carr. Okay.
They
The
are
question
killing
is,
him
will
inside.
Carr be Carr? Carr had a great year last year, but all of a sudden this year, he looked more like his brother, David Carr.
Philadelphia is doing some great things up front because this guy's wide open down the field. He just can't.
Okay, so their punter's okay. Greg Williams. That'd be interesting. Now, Greg Williams with the good old bounty.
Good bounce.
What do you think about Greg Williams for a defense coordinator? He was with the Redskins, went to the Saints, and then didn't he go to the Rams there for a minute before Wade Phillips?
I thought he still coaching. He's still coaching the team.
Greg Williams wouldn't be bad at all. He's always been around something pretty solid.
If you're nervous, they have real life help you can talk to. Hi, I'm TurboTax lady. Can I claim a mask as a deduction? Yes, if it's required for work.
Whoever they bring in as a defensive coordinator, can it be somebody that deals with a living, breathing team? As in, like, if Sean Lee goes out, like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. Like,
well, that's the problem that I've seen with the team. We just don't adjust.
Yeah.
Huh?
He's coaching the Browns, right?
Is he at the Browns? Well, you know, it's like being in Siberia. You get lost once you go to the Browns, man. And yeah, oh man.
Like NFL Europe.
Speaking of the Browns, okay. All right. Last year was Calais Campbell. This year's guy is going to be Demario Davis. That if the Jets let him go, that's the guy we need to get as a free agent. Demario Davis. Middle linebacker for the Jets. I believe he had 95 solo tackles, I think 130 tackles in the middle. He was with Cleveland. He was originally drafted by the Jets. He was with Cleveland last year and got to the point where he was just about ready to say the hell with football. Because Cleveland is like Siberia, the doo-doo Browns. And the Jets picked him up for about $2.5 million to come back. Basically recommitted himself, got his head right, got his body right, and has been an absolute beast on that team. You put a Demario Davis as a middle linebacker, put Sean Lee back on the weak side backer, and then, you know, you give Jalen Smith time to heal or have him as a fill-in. Because Jalen Smith, to me, has the instincts. I still don't believe that foot is there. And he is good at going straight ahead, but can't really plant and push off. But if you have him in coverage, I'm sorry, he can't change the direction.
Well, could we make him strong side where he doesn't have to run as much?
Could be, yeah. You could try that and see where it works. But Sean Lee is better as a weak side backer. He's not taking all those hits and everything else, and he's better at chasing down guys.
It's the scheme. You know, he's pretty much the Derek Brooks of what Derek Brooks was in the Tampa.
Eagle fans are like, you need somebody to break one because you guys haven't shown a whole lot on your offense. You know, when I talk about Philadelphia and hate, you know, we're looking at the Liberty Bell, you know, with the crack that you guys are proud of. Here's the thing about the Liberty Bell. You know, the crack didn't happen like something noble, like it was shot by the British or anything, you know, a cannonball hit it and it cracked. You realize they made the thing and the workmanship was poor, and the first time they rang it, it cracked. Okay? You know, you guys have, you guys worship Rocky. You know he's not real, right? You know, this is true. I was walking in downtown Philadelphia, and I'm sitting here, all of a sudden you come through, there's a plane crash.
Oh, yeah, with some flowers and stuff.
There's a plane crash that is a piece of artwork. And I'm not sure it was originally built to be an artwork. I think it was just a plane that crashed in the middle of the city and they just didn't clean it up. Because you got one of the filthiest cities I've ever seen in my life.
Or what about the fact that their claim to fame for basketball is that Iverson crossed Jordan, but I feel like they lost a game and Jordan still put up 35.
Yeah, right. I mean, Philly. And don't get me started on those cheesesteaks. I'm sorry, those sub rolls are rubbery as can be. And see, when you look at food, the way they list the ingredients by what has the most in it. So when you say cheesesteak, you realize, first of all, that Cheese Whiz is only like one element away from being plastic. It's not really cheese, okay? That's why they say C-H-I-Z. It's not spelled cheese, it's spelled cheese. Can you put some vegetables on it? Get some mushrooms or some lettuce and tomato? Do you guys even have any vegetables up in there?
Philadelphia's moving the ball a little bit.
Uh-oh. So that's some of my did I lose? Wait a minute, what happened to my feed here? No internet connection.
Those last two throws were money though on the slant.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh, I've lost my internet connection.
Saint Nick.
Sorry guys, I'm hoping that we're still broadcasting there. Somehow I've lost.
He's doing a good job setting that edge now. Where he was getting busy on the outside zone now.
Huh. All right, here we go. I'm sorry, I've lost my feed here, or my internet connection. Hopefully it's still broadcasting out.
Yeah, the only thing that I hate...
Oh, you still see me good. I'm not sure what happened here. Mike, what is the... Because I only... Uh-oh. Eagles are moving.
Coming back.
The only thing I hate about the Cowboys going and picking up guys from the Browns, the Lions, or whoever, like, we keep getting these guys from mediocre situations and expecting them to come in and, like, you know, there's a such thing as a big fish in a small pond.
Right.
And in my opinion, I'd much rather get somebody who knows how to win, who knows how to be competitive. Not to say that you can't do that.
What's the password again on the?
But we haven't shown anything. Our coaching staff hasn't showed anything but mediocrity. So.
And that seems to be okay.
Nah, he caught that.
The only problem is I can't see it on there because I've got the live stream on it.
Two hands on the football, but his
The,
eyes are going to be
so they've been doing the read option. They've been killing Atlanta this drive.
Mm-hmm. Well, see, they've adjusted. That's the difference. That's something our team does not know how to do.
It shouldn't be a first down. Because what Atlanta needs right here is a sack.
No, you have full foul. Come on now, mistake has happened. Let's come.
Uh-oh.
Foles is hot.
Well, you can just see it.
They sped up. Yeah. Now they sped up the tempo. And
Back foot bounces up.
You think
Right
Chip
into
there?
the
You think
little
Chip the
slot
coach?
there. Completes
He was
another one.
efficient with Chip Kelly.
5 first downs. This drive started back at the 7-yard line.
nope.
I think I'll win next week.
They won't win today.
It's swung back by the former Chiefs on Terry Poe. Under a minute now.
They're going to kick a field goal.
In the quarter.
They'll be up.
Well, now comes where you have
Okay, let's see.
this team is excellent. And
Okay, hopefully I'm back on here.
how many times this year
Oh, Wentz.
Okay, good. We're back on.
I think they would have went all the way with Wentz, to be honest.
You know what? Going into this game, I was talking trash with a Philly
Here you go.
buddy, and I was like, I think Atlanta will win this game even if Wentz was quarterbacking because we haven't
I still
seen.
think they would have went all the way with Wentz.
Well,
I don't think they would. I still don't think they would have won the championship with Wentz.
Woo,
Damn.
he got crushed.
he got leveled. But he pops up. Way to go, Napoleon Dynamite. But I kid because I love on Philadelphia. Truth be told, at the draft last year, you guys did a fantastic job and had a ball. Even though I got cussed out by every Eagle fan that I saw, and then they would immediately apologize and say, "Man, we just got to do it. It's what we do, man. It's our thing. We don't have rings, so we have to cuss everybody out." So, other than that, everything was great in Philadelphia.
It's somewhat like talking to a Lions fan. Like Lions, you ever got into it with a Lions fan? They're the greatest at like joking on your team because they have nothing to cheer for.
What the heck? That looked like he was playing volleyball. Trying to play. Wow. Okay.
I told you.
Halftime is over. Yes. Actually, the third quarter is almost over. There's only 16 seconds, and right now, the Eagles are trying to kick a field goal to take the lead. What? That looked like a Des Bryant catch. That looked like a Des Bryant catch.
It was catchable.
Nick Foles is like, what the F?
It was catchable.
Now he's gonna make this kick. Now Julio still hasn't made a big play yet, and it's coming. Nah, he's gonna drill this.
5-mile-an-hour wind coming at the kicker, and he drills it right down the tight. All right, the Eagles have their first lead of the game. 11 seconds to go in the third quarter. Okay, so expect the onslaught of Eagle fans to come back right now.
Here they come. Here they come.
Somebody's going to open up the floodgates. Oh, damn, they missed all my talking about Philadelphia. All right, we got a quarter left to go. We'll see what happens.
You were basking in old glory.
Bryce can give him separation, I'll give him that. But he doesn't stay healthy. Okay. Falcons defense is slowing down, making Foles look decent. Yeah, true. The Falcons offense came out and didn't do much of that first drive. They got to go down and do something and keep the defense off the field. You feel bad for Julio. The Falcons don't deserve him. Okay. Well, Julio actually had a down year this year in comparison to most of his years. The question is, who wants it more? Well, the Falcons better go ahead and do something on this drive, or else it's, you don't want to do a 3-and-out right now. Get your roach spray ready. You're right about that. The Eagles have a real defense. Yes, Philadelphia Eagles fly. Yes, you guys do have a good defense. I'll give you that.
If Atlanta would just stop messing around with Freeman today and get the ball in the hot hand, I don't even think this game would be close.
You got to run to hot hand.
Right. That is the truth.
It's like I get it. I know what Freeman means, but I mean, China just want to go home.
They keep feeding them. I wonder who that remind you of. They keep feeding them, hoping you get in it. Get in rhythm. Feed them. Keep feeding them.
Nice baseball caps. Yeah, I've got. Problem is, I need a bigger space. I used to actually collect Cowboy. I used to get new ones every year. Used to get ones from the Super Bowls that are all over in here. These ones up here are actually all autographed. So Miles Austin, there's Charles has Haley signed one, Dion signed one, DeMarcus Lawrence, I think DeMarcus Ware's up in there, and some other ones. Mark, you don't have to explain anything to an Eagles fan. If they don't like it, go to another channel. Well, I got to tell you, I got to say 25% of my subscribers are probably Eagle fans because they literally are here before most Cowboy fans are. Nick Saban. You know, a lot of people talk about Nick Saban coming into the pros, but I remember Nick Saban when he was with the Dolphins and just kind of said, you know what, I'm done, and walked away before the season was even up.
Guess who was on Nick Saban's staff? Jason Garrett.
Yeah. True on that. So there's that.
Oh, he kicked it out of bounds. Uh-oh.
So first down on the 40-yard line. Uh-oh. That's a big mistake by your kicker.
That's the type of stuff that happens in the playoffs where it's inexperience.
Well, yeah.
They gave up 7 points because of that earlier.
Mm-hmm. Walter Polk, I agree with you. I'm not sure. You know, a lot of people talk about Saban as an NFL coach. Like I said, he did not do anything in Miami, and hence, as my man pointed out, Jason Garrett was on his staff. So there's that. Okay.
That's not bad.
The Rams should have been in the Falcons' position. Well, true on that. J-Sig, so if the Eagles lose, you're going to root for Pittsburgh. Damn. It's not how you want to start that drive off if you're getting great field position.
Dude. What is Freeman doing? Freeman is tripping today.
Minnesota and New Orleans are watching the Eagles laughing. Yeah.
One of those two would be big.
God.
They end up winning.
You know, I kind of wanted Minnesota to go to the Super Bowl because they have it in the home state and it's cold as shit up there. And after them, this commercial. That's my wife. It's work.
Does that make you upset?
What do you mean?
Zimmer.
Oh well, yeah, he was on the yeah. It's just like Sean Payton.
Another thing Bill Parcells did to ruin the franchise.
If you guys just saw the United Way commercial right there, that is some of the stuff that my wife does. She's there for that whole photo shoot and stuff like that and directing and things. So shout out to Tracy. I'd yell up there and tell her that it was just on, but I don't want to scream into the microphone.
What you mean?
I think, I was just having a side conversation about I was saying there was a couple of things that Bill Parcells did to kind of set us back when he was the coach of the Cowboys. One of them being trading back to draft Julius Jones instead of drafting Steven Jackson.
Yeah, okay.
Another one, you know that Jerry Jones picked DeMarcus Ware. He wanted to pick Marcus Spears at that spot. DeMarcus Ware would have been gone.
Yeah.
Let's see. I don't know how much the Quincy Carter situation was his fault. Did he want to draft Quincy or was that a Jerry thing?
We'll never know.
Yeah, I know our defense was really good, and then we switched to the 3-4.
Mm-hmm.
When Mike Zimmer was our coordinator, and then Mike Zimmer left, and we switched to the 3-4, which now we're back at the 4-3. But I mean, when we had Dak Nguyen and those guys,
right,
we were rolling.
Yeah, and it's funny because that commercial, Tracy showed me the first cuts of it when they first started looking at it, and it was funny because as the clip she got was before they put the squeaking magic marker stuff on there. We're actually doing some other stuff that's going to be really cool there at Super Bowl. United Way is going to have a booth at NFL Super Bowl Experience, and it's going to be interactive 3D. So they're working with Character Playbook, which is a lot of you could use Character Playbook who are on here kind of not relating to people really well, but the photo shoot we did with Demario Davis and with Calais Campbell, Patrick Peterson's going to be another one that's going to be in there. It's going to be virtual reality. So the kids will put on a virtual reality set and they'll get asked questions and all that, and the players will be doing the responses. And the other thing that's kind of cool is some of the pictures that I took of Demario Davis and Calais Campbell, still shots. They're going to be still shots that you'll be able to stand there and your picture will be taken with that player. So you'll actually get it printed out. So it's kind of made me feel good that it's like, okay, I actually did a little bit of work. Damn.
That's on Julio.
Damn, Julio is just not having a game at all today.
Now they got to run the draw or something.
Well,
like
I
that.
see that all of a sudden our views have picked way up since the Eagles took the lead.
And that's the defense going good.
3rd and 20. See, and this is bad because if they don't get this first down, it's another 3 and out.
Look at this. They make sure they're not getting that first down.
See, now you got your defense right back on the field.
Field position. Yeah. But yeah, Philly just drove, what, 94 yards?
Yeah.
Or not 94 yards, but.
Has Jones turned into Dez? Well, you know, truth be told, Julio has not had a good year.
Give me Julio over Dez any day of the week.
Like, give me Julio anytime.
We've seen the win tonight. The Falcons are now going into that win. The Eagles really.
I think a lot of that has to do with the switch and who's calling the plays. I think Atlanta's having some trouble with their coaching as well. Yeah.
They were a juggernaut last year.
But about Jason Garrett, if you think about our situation, we've never, ever since Wade Phillips became the head coach, we haven't had an opportunity where it's like we get the best coach available off of like interviewing. Like Jason Garrett was part of the Wade problem. You know what I mean? And so, I mean, he's kind of comfortable at this point. He's comfortable. There's no hot seat, which you brought up.
Yeah, Julio, well, he's got 88 catches for this year. His average dropped by about a yard per catch, and he's only got 3 touchdowns in the season. So, yeah, Julio is definitely down a little bit from 2015 to 2014.
Let's talk about Dez's decline.
Oh, Lordy. Okay. People don't seem to, everybody just blames that. Throws that on Dak Prescott, but
When did he get that hairline fracture on his foot?
I thought it was last year.
no.
Last year he did something because he was out for a while.
Yeah, I think it was the first or second game he got hurt with his foot.
2 years ago?
I think he did it last year.
No, it wasn't last year.
He did something last year.
Yeah, I think
Cause he was out. He was out at least. He was out at least.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you, this is a big play right here because the Falcons need to stop them on this 3rd down and get them to punt to get that defense off the field and keep that field position. See, Dez actually had a pretty good year last year, which I know it doesn't sound like he did. But when he finally, the second half of the year, I thought for sure that they were going to actually take off from where they left off last year. That playoff game, he actually played a really good playoff game. And I thought, okay, they finally are clicking. I don't know what happened this year. But, guys.
Oh, good play call.
Oh shit. Yeah, that's the killer right there. But Dez was targeted 132 times this season and only came down with 69 of them. Last year he was targeted 96 times, came down with 50. 2015, 72, only came down with 31.
So how many more games we'll won if we did target?
2014, targeted 136, came down with 88. That was definitely his best year, 2014. 2013, 159 targets, 93 receptions. So when you start looking at 2013, most receptions he had. So he went from, 2012, 92, 93, 86, 31, 50, 69. So the trend has been going steadily downhill long before Dak Prescott. And I'm not saying that some of that's not injuries, but the problem is once you start getting hurt, you don't all of a sudden get healthy and not get hurt more. It's that much easier to get hurt again. Falcons need, I'm about to get a whole bunch of crap here. The Falcons need a play here on 3rd down and 8.
I think the Falcons, if they get a stop here, they might want to do what Philadelphia did to them and kind of push the pace. I think Matt Ryan's a little bit better in that, but tire out that defensive line a little bit because they're killing you.
Well, JMNDMB32, apparently you are watching me watch the game, okay? So why are you asking that question? Unfortunately, well, some people actually like to have, they'll watch the game and they listen to the comments and everything else. We've actually been doing that throughout most of the season and stuff. This was actually by request from some Eagle fans because they told me they were going to blow out the Falcons and they wanted to give me shit in real time. So there's that. But right now, your Eagles are actually in a great position. And
they score, it might be over.
Yeah, if they get a touchdown in here, I think the game is over. That was the nicest pass we've seen Nick Foles do today. Foles has gotten better as the game progressed. Shout out to Napoleon Dynamite. The Falcons, I'm going to tell you.
Another first down.
This is.
They're going to kick another field goal.
You know what? This is deja vu. Because right now, what we're watching. What are we watching right now? What are we watching right now?
No, you ain't saying what I think you're saying.
We're watching the Cowboys is what we're doing.
You're not saying that, are you?
This is true story. Sitting in the Super Bowl last year, in the 3rd quarter, I turned to Tracy and I said, honey, I feel like I'm watching the Cowboys. Because you started seeing the Falcons defense starting getting tired. You saw them still passing the ball like crazy because they had first down, I think, on the 33-yard line.
Well,
and all they really needed was a field goal, and it would have been 2 scores. And what did they do? They threw the ball.
And he got sacked.
Which took him out of field goal range. So then they had to continue to pass, and before it was all over, they ended up punting. New England goes down the field, gets a score. Now they're only 1 score away. And it was kind of like, because I said to my wife, I said, I feel like we're watching the Cowboys where it was an opportunity to run the ball, eat up some clock, kick a field goal, get a win, but they kept passing. And I feel like it's deja vu watching Atlanta just get tired and wore out, just like I've watched our team, where we played well in the first half. We've come out, the other team's adjusted in the second half, and our defense has been on the field too long and gassed out. So there's that with the Falcons.
They're going to keep the ball on the ground here. I can't see them pass. Or if they pass it, it's going to be one of those little dump-offs to the side.
Yeah, I see we've got a lot of new people that are here because of some of the stuff you're putting.
Wow.
Yeah, this game, congratulations, Eagles. This game is over.
Wouldn't say that. Because if they kick a field goal, all Atlanta got to do is go down and score a touchdown.
Atlanta's defense is gassed.
If they get a touchdown, I can say probably.
They're just getting blown off the field. You're looking at them getting blown off.
Now you got to tackle this big 250-pound son of a gun. And
Where's
Still,
Claiborne?
he got one. He got a full ball. I swear something.
They're keeping that
No,
ball on the ground.
and see, the defense is worn out.
They keep that thing on the ground.
They are worn out. They're getting pushed. Listen, their offensive line are pushing them 2 to 3 yards downfield. You can see that Atlanta is completely gassed. Why? Because they've been on the field too damn long. Atlanta has done nothing this half.
They're pushing that pace.
Yeah. You know, and that's
Got hurt. They got cramps.
Nah,
Look at
he buying some
he's
time.
gassed.
He buying some time.
Look at his hands on his hips. He's starting to think he got it.
That's when you are sucking wind. Your lungs are burning. Yeah. Oh yeah. And you just don't want no more right now. And they are just the Eagles are feeling it. They are driving right down their throat. And that's one of those things. That's the killer instinct that our Cowboys usually don't have. We're still throwing the ball around and stuff like that. It's like, no, run the shit down their throat. Pound them into submission. It's not Seattle. Zeke, 11 rushes in the second half.
No. The 2-yard line.
He had one negative play the whole game.
No, the 2-yard line is one that mystifies me.
Yeah. See, the numbers are right now as the Eagles are doing better and better.
Well, maybe you might win the win.
And what we're getting is, I'm getting actually a lot of assholes, so to speak, right now.
You know what the key play of the game is, right? The key play of the game is right before halftime when he dropped that pick and Torrey Smith got it.
Yeah.
That's key play of the game. That kept Philly in the game.
I'm not hating the Falcons will still win. Well, I'm not feeling you on that one. Right now, the momentum has shifted to Philadelphia, and the defense is gassed. Unless something, a miracle happens and there's a turnover, if they do not keep them out of the end zone, it's over. That might be the momentum changer if they can somehow suck it up for a couple of plays and keep them out of the end zone and have them settle for a field goal. But right now, I'm looking at a gassed defense. And if they get a touchdown, they're not going to get 2 scores. Sorry about that one.
They have to hold them here, because what I will tell you is, if it's a 1-possession game, Matt Ryan, when he's pressing the issue with a little bit of time, I don't know what it is about the 2-minute drill. You don't call him Matty Ice for nothing.
You don't have to be taught to have a killer instinct. Well, see, and this is one of those. This is one of those things that I talk about when I say Jason Garrett. And some of it is, it's a learning thing or a feel in the game. And, it's easy to go ahead and look back and say, this is what you should have done as a Monday morning quarterback. But too many times, we've been in positions where it's better to take a couple of yards, eat up clock, and get the win instead of trying to go for keep passing. Because there's a couple of games where we've had, I'll give you
Rams.
Well, Rams, no, but I'm talking looking back at against Green Bay with Matt Flynn, up 26-3. If you had just run the ball 3 and out the rest of the game and never made a yard, they would not have had enough time to get back on you. But you're throwing the ball. You threw the ball more than Green Bay, who was trying to get back in the game. And you have 3 incompletions. You're only taking off 30 seconds off the clock. If you end up running the ball 3 times and punting, you're going to take about 3 minutes off the clock. Yeah. And that's the difference between winning and losing. There's been too many times where we've been up in the second half. Twice in Detroit. We made Bobby Carpenter look like a Hall of Famer. That draft bust because he got 2 interceptions on Tony Romo.
Good play.
Oh, man.
Trufant.
Okay, he got 2 interceptions. We were up 21 points and lose to Detroit Lions. And that's those times where it's better just run the ball. Against one of those years, 8-8, we had, I think John Kitna was in for Romo. It was 4th down and a yard. And we threw. Kitna came in relief. You're going to throw on a 4th down and 1 with the line that you had? Yeah. And that's one of those times where, let's go ahead and throw it out. And he missed him by a mile. And you just keep looking at these things over and over and over again. That's where I question our coaching staff because I've looked at the Eagles there, who basically, they're going to end up with a field goal, but they ate up time on the clock. They're going to put ports on the board, and they have literally demoralized that defense by running it down their throat. That's manning up and saying, I'm going to will my way to victory. And I don't see us, sometimes we're kind of too, I don't want to say soft, but sometimes we get to be too cute. And sometimes I think Jason Garrett thinks he's too smart, and I can smart my way out of stuff.
Well, yeah, I'll agree with you I'll agree with you here, because you know what he would have done right here? He would have sent the field goal unit right out there instead of making them think, okay, we could go for it. Because if you catch them with their pants down, you might be able to go for it and you end the game.
Yeah. Yep.
They're going for the judgment.
They should.
Well,
he's
on the sideline.
I kicked this field goal because you got this defense playing the way it is.
Right. Because this makes it now, they've got to score a touchdown. It's not a field goal, so you've got to take the field goal.
He keeps making this.
Drew Brees isn't bad. Are you kidding me? Drew Brees is the shit. That's where, and that's where you're talking about, like,
The New York Giants lost on him.
Minnesota's coach. But to think that we had Sean Payton. Could you imagine if we had Sean Payton for our head coach? Remember, he was the one who got Tony Romo to be Tony Romo, okay? He wanted to take Romo with him to New Orleans, okay? And you look what he did with Drew Brees, because Drew Brees, basically, the Chargers gave up on him. In Miami, he almost went to Miami.
Because they traded for him.
Yeah.
New York is when they gave up on him.
So, I mean, that's a coach. That was one of those ones I was hoping that New Orleans would tank this year. Would be awful, and he finally said, okay, it's time to do that coaching change because he's still got family that's in Dallas and all that. Because I would have loved to see him back in Dallas. That is a guy who, to onside kick it in the Super Bowl to start the second half. He is a guy who doesn't take any stuff. He's creative. He knows when to put a foot in your ass and to give you a hug.
Well, I much like the team better when I don't like Jason Garrett's play calling a little bit, but I mean when your head coach specializes in something, like for example the defense, you can put the defense in the hands of somebody else that can just. I'm a defensive guy, which Marinelli is, but with Jason Garrett having his hands in everything, now it's
I don't think he's got his hands in anything.
True.
And I don't have a. Okay, here's the thing. I look at Here's the way I look at it. Okay. The CEO doesn't need to know how to make the sausage. He just needs to make sure that the people underneath him know how to make the sausage and can delegate everything that needs to be done and gets the philosophy of the company. The thing that I did a video, I said, Jason Garrett, listen, I don't necessarily believe in you, but you're our coach. I'm going to put my faith behind you because that's all I can do. But what I would want to see is I want to see what is your stamp? What is your mark? If you end up failing next year, I don't have a problem with that as long as I can see that you're trying to do something. And if it doesn't work, okay, I got it. I just don't see
good point
what it is, your stamp. What is your thing? Bill Belichick is going to come up with 2 or 3 things every week that's going to get him a couple of plays. The fact that they came out one time, had all the defensive linemen standing up. You as an offensive lineman are like, what the hell? That's enough to get a play. He's going to change up that offense and give you some different looks and things like that and throw you curveballs. Because you look at them, they're never over salary cap. They're never having to restructure contracts. Oh, Lord. Are we showing the world championship? Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Okay, that's older than me, guys. Just letting you know. But you know that he's always going to find people that work in his system. You don't see a whole lot of Pro Bowlers on his team. You don't see a lot of guys that are out there that are big name players. You see 53 good players, and if I lose one, it's okay because I got somebody else that's going in there. And when you want to get paid, I'm shipping your ass to Cleveland because I'm going to get some high draft picks.
That's what they do.
That's what they do. Okay? Because I'm going to draft some people that fit my system. I'm going to pay them dirt cheap. And when they're ready to get that big fat contract, I'm going to try and see if I can get me some picks for them. That's where People fall in love with, oh man, you can't let DeMarcus Ware go. DeMarcus Ware should have been traded the year before. Get something back for him because he's having health issues. He's breaking down. He's valuable to somebody else. But let's get something in return.
So,
okay.
So with that being said, would you feel a certain way if we did that with Sean Lee right now?
You get something for Sean Lee right now, you got to make sure it's something really good. That's unfortunately, here's the thing. It's the way it works.
Yeah.
It's a young man's game. You can't
I agree.
You cannot hold on to players and have them retire. How many players retire from New England? They don't. They don't have guys they draft that retire from there.
Tom Brady wouldn't have retired there. He would have got. He would have shipped him out.
That's what I'm saying. And we it's different. When I grew up, I'm a lot older than you. It was a different thing because Cowboys and Redskins won. They were both good teams, but you knew the Cowboy players. You knew Harvey Martin, Randy White, Too Tall Jones. Charlie Waters. They're Cowboys for life. They weren't going anyplace else. They're going to play there, retire there, and so on. That's how it used to be. And it was great because you knew those guys. It was like family. But with free agency, you got to pay these guys, and you can't overpay. And when you keep guys for a long time, they don't necessarily get better with time. When they hit that 30-year mark, they start going downhill. You love them. You want to see them retire. You don't want to see Jason Witten go anyplace else to be other than a Dallas Cowboy. But the reality is, you got to have somebody young who's not making a whole lot of money. Damn. Who's not making that big fat paycheck, because when you look at us having $60 million or $70 million for 6 guys, it's not winning football. The rest of those guys are just average guys. You can't win with just average guys.
True.
You got to have everybody above average. And so that's where you got to look at these guys as, here's what I do. Because people say, Dez can't go anywhere. $16.5 million. I can save 12 here. I can do a long-term deal with that $12 million for Zach Martin, DeMarcus Lawrence, and David Irving. David Irving's about 3. So for that money for Dez Bryant, I can lock up these 3 guys. Dez Bryant or these 3? Which way are you going to go?
I'm going those 3.
That's what I'm saying. Or you look at free agency. Okay, I can get me a swing tackle. I can get me maybe a backup linebacker who's going to be able to take over if Sean Lee goes out with Dez Bryant money. And maybe I go ahead and say, okay, I'm going to draft a wide receiver in the first round. A lot of guys will say, well, rookie wide receivers is a number 1. It's a hit and miss. Well, what do we get out of Dez this year?
Rookie numbers.
Thank you. So that's my thing as far as it goes.
Running back.
So I mean, and unfortunately, you got to remember that you can't run a team with your brain. I mean, with your heart. You got to run with your brain and realize I only have so much to go around. And when you looked at, like I said, when you went back when we had Tony Romo, Witten, DeMarcus Ware, all these guys, we had $90 million tied up in 8 guys. Whew. And this is when the cap was about like 150. And that's why a couple of years ago we only had $32 million that was going on the defense. And we wondered why our defense wasn't a good defense, because you're not paying anybody that's there. So that's the way I look at it. Put the game on. John Tango, thank you for joining in. And as much as I wish I could show this thing, I wish that I could. Unfortunately, I am not a licensed provider from the NFL, which means I'd have to pay them a shitload of money to show the game. And unfortunately, if I do show you the game, my channel will be lost. And then, of course, I would never be able to show a game again. So I can't do that. So the best thing I can do is we can have conversations about my Cowboys and wait for the onslaught of the Eagles that'll be here to kick my ass. Atlanta play calling. I'm telling you, somebody's in there saying the play calling stinks, that they didn't adjust very well, that the Eagles did. And I said, yes, the Falcons are getting cowboyed again, just like in the Super Bowl.
It's like Tevin Coleman gets in 7 yards, Put Freeman back in. Loss of 5.
Yep. That's what it's like. There's one Atlanta fan in there, Ravens.
If they win this game, they're gonna get spit on.
All right, 2nd and 15. Eagles, Falcons, you got 4 minutes to go. Thank you, Jay Cone. You are added to the added to the drawing that we're going to do Monday night. Everybody who's been on here, I want to thank everybody who showed up and all that and has bared with our technical difficulties. We know that I am technology challenged, so that's why we have technical difficulties. But
you can punt it.
This has been one of those great games that you kind of enjoy for playoffs. It's definitely going to go down to the wire. It's been a dogfight, and if the Eagles win, hey, hats off to you. I'm proud of you guys.
They bring a lot of pressure. Oh, big play.
Boy.
That's Sanu.
Julio has not done jack crap today.
Hey.
Julio, and that brings us back to the Des Bryant situation, because you look at the numbers and you look what they gave up. Remember, 2 number ones.
Oh, he dropped it.
No. That's it.
He dropped it.
No, they can't call it back. It's still there, though. Luckily,
he's got his other hand kind of.
He dropped it.
He's going to look at it. Uh-oh.
Nah, he going to lose this. He going to lose this time.
They going to get at the Philly.
Before it hits the ground, and then the ground cannot.
I don't think he.
He's going to lose this time. His hand's under the ball. That's the thing.
This is one of those controversial calls that, like for me personally, how they've been calling everything else. That's
nothing makes sense. Yeah, nothing makes sense as far as
with the play call.
Yeah.
Look at his hand under the ball. Right there. Look at his hand under the ball.
That looks like he's got both hands on it.
Now look at it move. A ball can move, but his hand is still.
His hand is under it. This is about to be a controversial one.
Well, and this is where I'm kind of wondering about the instant replay, because they are doing it so much to the point of it used to be that it had to be irrefutable evidence to change a call. Some of these ones, if they're that close, you stick with what's on the field.
If it's going slow like that, of course it's going to look a different way.
Right.
Yeah, I really didn't see the ball move that much on the ground though. So like if they went, if they allowed it, I'm okay.
This is the ball game right here on this call. And this is one of those things that I hate, that this is literally in the referee's interpretation in New York.
That's right. It goes New York.
Goes to New York. To me, he's got both hands there.
The ball can move.
Man, now he got a jammed finger in there.
Don't look at him at 2 fingers.
The ball didn't move though. Like you know how the ball normally it didn't move.
I'm going to sound like a homer, but I think that to me should be a catch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he had the hand underneath of it. He had the other hand that was on there and stuff. And you're bouncing around. That ball it wasn't like it was trapped. His hand was up underneath it, but we'll see what the officials call on that.
But be consistent. You know.
Oh, there is no consistency.
Yeah, exactly.
Years after the catch, no catch, we still don't know what a catch is. Claire, come here for a second. No, come around this way.
Oh,
they reversed it. Oh, Lordy. All right, so do you go for it?
you have to. You have to go.
Go for it. I'll go for it.
It's game if you don't.
Yeah, you got it.
I mean, at the end of the day, you still got 2 timeouts regardless. Regardless of where
but you got a gas defense that's still got to go in there and get 3 and out.
That still would be regardless. Though.
This is where I would go for it. I'm sorry. You know what?
Yeah, exactly. It don't matter. They got to get him off the field anyway, regardless.
Because here's the thing. I get it, and I keep on going. I keep my defense off the field. I kick the ball. I'm relying on my defense to have to stop them. Okay?
Same thing.
I'm going for it if I'm the coach. But then again, they're going for it.
You should go for it. It's game.
Yeah.
If you don't.
Here we go, guys. This literally is the game. 4th and 6 from their 42-yard line.
I don't know why I smell a controversial penalty right here.
We haven't seen a penalty here in the second half, have we?
Just called it up.
Oh! Finally, Julio comes through. Oh, snap. Damn.
Matt Ryan with the poise, man, because that pocket was tight.
Damn.
Woo, that pocket got tight around him.
Well, I guarantee you right now.
Oh, look at that off the line. See, that's what we don't get with Dez. I don't get. Who was the person that said I would rather have Dez than him?
How many have you seen any Dez that get that much separation any point this season? No.
He never gets separation.
Now
The only person who gets.
Freeman gonna get off.
It's funny because.
Nope.
Oh, come on.
Is he hurt? Because he looks a step slow to me tonight. I don't know what it is. He normally breaks that tackle.
But for real, they can play relaxed. They know they got 4 downs. It's 4 down territory.
I wouldn't play relaxed. Score a touchdown.
No, I'm just talking about
Yeah.
squads. You don't have to worry about him going third.
That was a good play call right there. He just didn't execute. Like, you gotta break that tackle. Gotta break a tackle. He got a clean pocket right there.
Boom. Uh-oh. Looks like they got some mojo there, guys. Oh.
You know why? Because on 4th and 6, my coach had balls and went for it.
Oh, snap.
I think you're
Hey.
You're right.
You got to, yeah, you had to, okay. The way they run the ball, with 3 minutes left, if they had punted it, they get 1 first down running the ball. It's over. You only had 2 timeouts or 3. So you had to go for it. 4th and 6.
You were in the same position regardless. You never know. And even if you stopped them, who says you get that good field position again? At the 40?
A lot of people are saying we need to get Ridley, but we can't get Ridley. He's going to be way gone. What it would cost for us to move up to get Ridley?
You think so?
I think so.
I have a feeling that other receivers are going to pass him.
But see, look, you're going to move up that far in the first round.
I wouldn't move up and get him. No, I'm saying
to move up that far in the first round. It's going to cost you this year's first round, next year's first round. You're not. No. See me, Shaz, man. I appreciate all the love and everything, man. Thank you very much, dude. Come to the Dallas Indianapolis game. Well, I tell you what, you guys. I'm going to say this, and I hate to say this, but damn, it's true. Going to Philadelphia was a changing moment for my life, and I'm sure it's a changing moment for everybody's life, especially Cowboy ones, because generally speaking, you're not coming out alive. But to meet some of you people, hear your stories, take your pictures, get you on part of the videos, was the bug that caught me. My man Clarence over here, Clarence, it was crazy because I was going to the post office, mailing out some Joe Bouchard glasses or T-shirts or something like that, and I'm getting out of my truck, and he's like, "You're Mark Holmes," and I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "I watched your channel, man," and it's cool to meet you guys and get together. So when I met people at the draft, I was like, "Shit, I've got to do this more." So that's why we did the tailgate.
Yep.
Tailgate at the Redskin game. We had maybe 50 people.
It's around the corner.
More than that.
Yeah, we at least 50 people at FedEx Field. And I've been to FedEx 4 years in a row, and the Cowboys have been winning every year on that. And that was really, really cool. Of course, the one we did at AT&T against the Eagles, the game sucked, but the tailgate was off chain. We had about 80 people there, and meet and greet and all that. We're going to be going to a lot more games and a lot more events, and we've got something that really big planned for before the season starts, and hopefully we'll be going to training camp again, and we're going to try and go to like 5 or 6 games and stuff. So definitely going to go to the New York game. I might risk life and limb and go to Philadelphia. Definitely the Redskins, and we'll do a couple in Dallas as well. So we're definitely going to be all over the place this season, and I'm going to have my man right here working with us as well. So
definitely,
we're going to blow this thing up. All right, 1st and 10 on the 26-yard line. 2 minutes left to go in this game. Oh, Lord.
Take your time. Take your time.
Good play call right there.
Nice. 7-yard game.
Take your time.
Michael, can you turn it up a little bit there?
Isn't it? All this, you go back to that play with Keanu Neal right before the half, off his knee that led to the field goal, right?
What's the score? The score is 15-10 with 1:36 to go. The
that's sight to see.
Eagles are up. The Falcons right now
I hate the Eagles, but I
Second
love
and
Carson
3
Wentz.
on the 19-yard line.
That's what I was going for.
Look at that. Look at
Nice
that.
run, first down.
Coleman.
First down. My man Colvin down to the 7-yard line. Billy
Coleman just ripped another one.
tailgating in the man cave. Oh, man. I tell you what, one of the things we're going to be doing, like I said, we're going to expand what we're doing next season. Like I said, I'm going to be doing a whole bunch of work and changing in the man cave here, and it is going to be like a sports pub. So we'll have the lockers over here for doing my live streaming and things. We've got the bar stools and stuff with the bar over there. So we're going to need somebody to be bartender. We're going to put a bigger TV over there. We're going to upgrade this TV to a 65-inch one, and we'll definitely have the Sunday tickets. So that way we'll have, of course, the Cowboys on every week. And for if you're at home and don't have the game on your location or whatever, we can at least talk about it. I can't show the game, but we'll have people here. In fact, I actually have a patio that's right out back here that has a deck over top of it. There's a cabinet I built that's got one of the big old-ass 32-inch TVs that's in the cabinet. We might upgrade that one so that way we can have people outside. So you Redskins, Eagles, and Giants, y'all can sit your ass outside and watch the game. While the rest of us live in style inside here. We might toss you a wing from time to time, but you get the drift. So this is where I'm really excited about some of the stuff. This year has been a great year with the channel and things, and it's grown more than I ever thought it would. And it's opened my eyes to some possibilities, dreams and stuff. And I know with great fans like I got right here, as well as you guys, that we're going to be doing some really cool stuff. But yes, there's less than 2 minutes to go. They're on the 7-yard line. Oh, man. If they score, I can guarantee you that the number of fans that are watching this right now is going to stop. We had a big bump up when the Eagles kicked that field goal, and now it's kind of steadily dropping down. Are you Eagles scared? You think they're scared right now? You think their butt is just tightening up like this right now? It is 15-10 right now with the Eagles. The Eagles have been basically climbing their way back in, took the lead over, and the second half has been all Eagles until this drive. They went for it on 4th down and 6 and got a big, big catch finally from Julio Jones. Right now, I'm sorry, it's on the 9-yard line, not the 7-yard line.
I might go back to that play that they went to earlier in the game where he had Hooper wide open and he didn't throw it to him.
Right. Shorted and settled for a field goal. 1st and goal from the 9 with 1:19 left. Falcons have 2 timeouts. Eagles only have 1. Here we go. All right.
I don't know why they didn't run the ball.
Telling you, the Atlanta Falcons are, the doppelganger of the Cowboys. Because, again, 1st down on the 9, there's 1:19 left. You got 2 timeouts. Coleman has been running the ball like crazy. Run the damn ball. At least on 1st down, try and get a little bit closer, eat up some of that clock.
So they get touchdowns.
Now they're going to run the ball here. Watch. Watch they run the ball.
Not out of shotgun, they're not. Because now you're basically tied into throwing the ball the rest of the series. That's incomplete. Okay. This is the Dallas Cowboys. Because once you threw in a 1st down and got it incomplete, 1, you didn't take any time off the clock. 2, now it's 2nd and 9. You have to pass.
What were you doing?
And what the hell did you think you were going to get in that?
Why are they taking Coleman out of the game? What are they doing?
I'm telling you, this is the Cowboys finding more ways to lose instead of more ways to win. Now, it's 3rd and goal. You got 2 plays. Julio single coverage.
Right there.
There's a flag.
That's confetti.
Oh, it's confetti. Okay. Oh, confetti. It looked like a flag.
But it's crazy.
Okay, so it's 4th and goal from the 2-yard line. Oh, my God.
Time out.
Buck, sorry, my commentary is worthless. You feel free to go elsewhere. Right now, it's 4th and goal on the 2. This play literally is the ball game.
You have to run it.
I got to tell you that, like I said, this feels like some of the stuff that my Cowboys do. They should have run the ball on 1st down. Tevin Coleman has been running. have been running like a madman. It's first down on the 9-yard line. Run the ball, eat us from the clock, and try to get closer in. Then second down, you've got an option. Once they completed that first pass, they are locked into having to throw the ball.
Here we go.
Here we go. The ball game is right here. Oh, Lordy, 4th and goal. Either they get in and get a touchdown, or this thing is over, and the Eagles will live for another day.
Official review.
What
did it?
It says official review on here, but they're calling a play.
Regardless of catch or not.
Oh, it is an official review. Uh-oh.
It's still 4th down.
Who's winning? The Eagles are winning 15-10.
He dropped it.
So he's controlling it. Where are you dropping it?
Right there.
No, he was already on the ground.
But the arm went with it, basically, that time. I don't think they overturned that.
I wouldn't be surprised if they did. That's a catch.
New York wants to see it. They saw something that they didn't like.
When we saw the replay, I thought, you can see the ball rolling around.
And that's the Eagle guy pulled the ball. That's where you see, but he still maintained control of it. The reason why his arm moved and the ball moved because the guy jerked on it, but he didn't lose control of it. Yeah, that's a catch. Right now, Atlanta has the ball on the 2-yard line, 4th down and goal. This is it. This play, unless there's a penalty.
I might go back. I'm going back to that play where if I got Hooper, I got him. If not,
oh man, there's a minute 5 left on the clock. This is it.
I got a feeling Ryan gonna run in for a touchdown. I don't know why.
Oh man, this is it, guys. Oh snap! Oh snap! Here we go. Here we go. 4th and goal. Here we go. He's running. He's running.
Oh, game over.
Incomplete.
Eagles win.
Incomplete.
You should have ran it. Should have gave it to your running back.
Damn. Congratulations, Eagles, because it looks like you're going to go ahead and win this one now. They have 2 timeouts. But I'm telling you guys.
He does it.
He does. Brian catched it. I feel like our Cowboys changed uniforms here in the playoffs.
That wasn't even a bad throw at all.
Oh my God! It literally
right through his hand. Right through his hand.
You would have came down with it.
If you would have just catched the ball, you would have won the game.
But guys, this is where it's kind of weird though, because see, look, Philly's kind of backed up. So do they run the ball or do they kneel? Like, how do you?
Well, okay, true. They got 2 timeouts, but yeah, okay. It's not over yet. There's a minute left in here. They got 2 timeouts and they're down on the 2-yard line, so they've got to run the ball to get out of there. They've got to basically get a first down.
What are you doing, Atlanta? Get up on the line. Oh, this guy.
Oh,
wow.
Falcons. Damn.
What an idiot. Cowboys.
Didn't I tell you? This is like, we got the Cowboys coaching staff here coaching this game because literally, okay. First down on the 9-yard line. You got 2 timeouts. Tevin Coleman. Let me make sure I've got.
Yeah, he moved.
But Nick Foles went in the huddle and said, "Guys, don't flinch, don't move. I'm going hard count. I'm gonna get us out of this hole." And he got it done.
Unbelievable. Tevin Coleman, 10 carries, 79 yards. 10 carries, 79 yards. You had a first down on the 9-yard line, and you went ahead and passed on first down. This is the same crap that they did in the Super Bowl, where they had a first down on the 31-yard line, and all they needed to do was kick a field goal, and the game would have been over. Instead, they passed, took a sack, and ended up getting kicked out of field goal range, and then had to pass the next 2 ones. Left time on the clock for New England to come back and win. I'm sorry. This goes down coaching right there. I blame it on the coaching staff right
Absolutely.
there, without a doubt. This is the Dallas Cowboys coaching staff 101. Unfreaking believable. Eagles, congratulations. That goes down to play calling.
Absolutely.
No, here's what I'm trying to point out, DeSoto, that it's not about the Cowboys. What I'm trying to do is point out the parallels. When everybody is going to sit there and kill them for the play calling down here, I'm trying to let you know that this is the same kind of stuff that our Cowboys have done.
Got the first or not.
Oh, actually, it does. They got the first. It's over.
It don't matter. I think it's like second down.
Wow. Man, they are going
They got to go there. I'd rather have the Saints because they got to play outside.
Either one gotta go there. Doesn't matter.
Huh?
I know. I'm just saying, like, if I'm the Eagles, I'd rather have the Saints. I'd rather play the Saints because they got to play outside in the cold.
Minnesota's got to play outside in the cold too.
No, they play dome.
That's what, I mean, they don't play. I mean, they're both dome teams.
Yeah, true. But at least they got to walk around in -3 weather down where they live in Minneapolis.
And I'll be honest with you, I think I'd rather play Minnesota than the Saints because the Saints are a complete team. They score and they got a good defense, and it's not just a passing game. It's a mixed offense. Yeah. Minnesota doesn't. I mean, Case Keenum's done well with them, but you're not really that worried about Case Keenum. So I'd rather play Minnesota. Personally, I'm just thinking that one.
That's crazy. That is just like the Cowboys. Kobe was killing him on the ground.
You went to the bathroom. He ripped off like a 10-yard run to get them down to get him down there.
That to me.
You hit it right ahead. That's exactly right.
The Atlanta Falcons are Dallas too. Boneheaded coaching calls. And if I were Matt Ryan and Julio Jones and all of those guys, after what happened in the Super Bowl, and that, I would lose it. So, Eagles, congratulations. Go ahead, give it to me. I want all of your venom here, guys. But just keep it clean. Hit the remote because we're about to lose it. Keep it clean because we have some nice ladies that are on the channel. We have some young kids that are on the channel. If you want to tell me I'm an idiot, that's cool. Just keep it clean. That's all I ask. So congratulations, Eagles. You get to kick back and see who you're gonna play. If it's gonna be Minnesota or if it's gonna be the Saints. So congratulations. I'm gonna be doing a video later with Tom Donnelly, the moron. I know he's about happy. He's about happy as can be right now.
Wow.
What's up with the dog?
Yeah, congratulations, Eagles. They're even putting dogs' masks on. So
this was supposed to be an all-time great playoff play right here. Julio, yeah, Julio.
But yeah, he would have been out of bounds. So you're right. It was high.
But it
was high. So I wonder if they're gonna talk about him like they do Dak Prescott. Because let's look at his numbers. Matt Ryan, 22 of 36, 210 yards, 1 TD. So, guys, that's that. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I'm going to be back later on with Tom Donnelly. And Eagle fans, congratulations. You did what we didn't do last year, which was win a playoff game. So there's that. You guys have done a great job. Oh, sorry. Threw up in my mouth there. Okay, so I'll be back with you guys later on with some final thoughts, and I'm going to get ready for the other game and talk to my